Welcome to another episode of Reseller Evolution. I'm Scott.
I'm Carl.
And I'm Ken.
Ken, we got a guest today.
Awesome.
A surprise guest. I don't think we discussed it last week, did we?
Not on the show, but off the show we did.
We might have discussed it previously about maybe having him on, but welcome, Ken. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I don't know. I guess I don't know how long you and Carl knew each other, but I'm kind of guessing we've kind of known through YouTube. Carl and I met was for YouTube, but probably since like 2020, like the COVID kind of meet.
Pre-COVID, I think it was. I kind of learned a lot from Chris, a lot of shipping stuff from Chris, actually I learned about the little mail slot thing of death. What do you call that?
Slot of Doom.
From Carl on his videos way back. So
awesome.
We go back a bit.
Yeah, it's been a long time, right? Yeah. You're almost at every Sunday show too. I would see you there.
And then through Chris's channel, I was there. I think I've been watching since the very beginning, Scott, since you guys started.
Yeah. For sure. I don't know. I probably said this millions of times, but time is going so fast.
It's crazy. I mean?
It's insane. Steph and I were actually watching TV last night, and I don't know. We ate probably like at 6 o'clock, which is about right. Like, anyway, between 5 and 7. So let's say 6 o'clock. Anyway, we're sitting there. And then all of a sudden we're starting to watch a movie and it was like 7:30 or something. And she goes, "Does it seem like time's going slow tonight?" And I'm like, it kind of did. It kind of like, it seemed like it felt like it slowed down. But in all honesty, like it's kind of a blur. Like the last 5-6 years just seem to, it's incredible how fast time has gone. So it's really hard for me to kind of figure out exactly when things were
for sure
happening, because it's just so fast. But
yeah,
I don't know. They say when you get older, time flies, but I don't know. It's really flying for me.
I'm older than both you guys, so you can imagine how I feel about it.
Oh, geez. I would have figured you're kind of the same age. How can we ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 60. I'm going to be 63 next month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're not too far. You're
a little bit.
But
to me, 63 still, I don't know, still young. Like, I don't know. I think when you're a kid, you see 50s and 60s as being old. But when I'm here, I'm like, I don't know, I'm 56. So I don't know.
I don't feel old. I feel younger than I did 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I think if I lost some weight, I would completely feel really good. You know what I mean? It's just, I mean, outside of that, my mind is it's still really young. You know what I mean? Probably too young, probably immature if you ask stuff. But
that's the way.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So just to let everybody know here, Ken has been.
What's Blair? That's Larry too.
That's right. Ken, you've been selling for a long time. Do you want to just explain kind of your experience?
Sure. I actually started online on eBay, and back in the 90s, early 90s.
Oh wow.
Actually, I think they say 1990, but I actually was on eBay before 1990. I got kicked off for life.
Oh, you're a bad boy, were you?
I was selling some, they called it gray market satellite stuff. So, yeah. But I got back on.
Nice.
And
they're pretty serious with their bands, I hear.
Yeah.
So, I got back on. Did you have to use an alias name or?
No, I don't know I don't know. Maybe they found it wasn't that serious or something. I don't know. I had a new profile and everything, but same person, same PayPal, same everything.
Yeah.
And those were mail order days, right? When you just like send off money and hope for the best.
Yeah. I used to buy on Yahoo auctions. You guys remember Yahoo auctions?
Well, I've heard of it, but I never used it. Yeah.
So I bought tons of stuff, like large lots on Yahoo auctions from the US. Shipped it here, break up the lots, and sold it back to them in singles.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Yeah, made a lot. Was making lots of money back then.
What kind of items?
Satellite equipment. but
satellite equipment as well.
Legal satellite equipment. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. I remember people would
Mostly
go meet some guy to buy that stuff.
It's crazy what's out there. Like I was never I don't even know if I'm really call myself into selling. You know what I mean? I guess technically yes, but I enjoy the dig. I enjoy antiques. I'm very specialized, but some of the like it sounds like you're kind of in there, but I remember hearing stories where people would buy like um like C cans worth like of CDs and different things like that, and then they would sell them, and not necessarily eBay. Maybe it was wholesale, or they just kind of take this one and then add 25% and sell it over here or something like that. But I just remember like hearing stories like that, and it was crazy how much money people were making just doing that kind of stuff. Have you ever heard of that kind of stuff or anything like that? Yeah,
I've heard of it. Never got into that. I kept small, but I did lots of vintage electronics. Is what I moved into.
Yeah.
From there, and
there's just I guess what I'm getting at is imagination is kind of where it ends. Like it's endless. Like if you can imagine it, you could probably sell it or package it, and it's crazy. It's crazy because I've never heard of that. Like even back then, it would have been Yahoo, but today you could be somewhere else. But I'm sure that kind of stuff you could still grab a ton of something. So I think people are doing. I don't even know if they're still doing it, but Amazon, what it returns, right? People are doing that. Like it's just crazy where you could go with this. But you got into antiques.
So I've always been a collector. I was a delivery driver, and when it was slow, I'd stop at everywhere.
Yeah,
and just kept picking up stuff and amassed a huge collection of stuff, and that's why I started selling. I had to get rid of some.
Wow,
electronics is difficult, because it's like you need to have a little bit of technical expertise.
Yeah, that is. I do have that, so that helped, but it's a lot of work. And antiques are a lot easier, and glass is a lot easier, and kind of like the lazy reseller. I like the easy way.
I know. Like yesterday, I picked up a whole new box of electronics. That's the way I like it. Like just buy it. It's already sealed.
That's the best way.
6 or 8 of them, one listing, one picture, quantity listings. Even if they're only going to sell $15-$20.
Yep.
It's so easy. Put in a bubble mailer, off it goes.
Yeah,
I do like that stuff too. I must admit.
No, cool. So now you're operating a location?
Yes. So we have a multi-vendor store it's about not huge. It's 3,800 square feet, and we have 8 vendors.
8.
Where are you?
8. You said 8.
8.
That sounds similar to the one I was at before I'm at now. Probably had 8 vendors. I'm just trying to think offhand. It was really hard to tell because the guy that was running it had such a large amount of space.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I have a lot of space.
he did too. It was amazing old toys, cast iron to tin litho to just everything across the board, to cap guns and slot cars and everything, right? So
nice.
He was considered the toy guy. He would have been doing it for I don't know how many years. When he passed away, after I had moved out, a couple of years later, he passed away. He would have been in his at least mid-70s, maybe even closer to 80. But just I don't know, just kind of rambling on there. But he had an amazing collection of stuff. Toys have come down a little bit, though. I think are they coming down a little bit? Some of the oil trucks and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, when I first started, I sold lots and lots of not old toys, but Tonkas and stuff like that. And they've come down for sure.
They've come down. My Tonkas have kind of stagnated. Like they're kind of sitting longer and they should.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people are looking, but they're just not buying. Like, oh, that's great. I love coming through your booth because you got all these neat
Yeah.
Mhm.
Tonkas and different toys, but they're not buying them. Like they're
Nope.
not that neat, I guess. But anyway, so and I noticed, I'm not getting the prices even for Lincolns and the older pressed steel stuff. Um, and then I watched Pete the other day, and he pulled out a nice truck in a box, like it was beat up. It was probably from the '70s, but it was still with the box, Texaco, and he was saying that he brought it down, and then took an offer on it. Like so, I think it's happening in the U.S. here. Like I just think they're coming down, but you used to get some. You could get like
Yeah.
$400-500 for some of the really really nice rarer stuff. But anyways, kind of rambling on there. But
Do you think it's a generational change of the people collecting that sort of stuff?
you want to answer? I have an opinion, but if you want to answer first, Ken, go ahead. But
Um, yeah, I find that the younger people are starting to collect. All the middle age group up to even mid 50s, they're minimalists, so they don't tend to buy as much. And then the older people buy lots of stuff.
I think the market's flooded. I think a
Mhm.
lot of the older guys are passing on, and you get these auctions,
Yeah.
and people are just going mint, mint, mint because there's a lot of that out there right now. If you go to, like, we got Shackleton's here, we got a couple of places that kind of specialize in that stuff, and for the past 2 years, they've been just hammering the market with this stuff. I think with eBay and everything else, I think the market's flooded. I think they display so nicely. I think people are going to keep collecting them, but I think we get back to what we've discussed before with Antique Nomad, where he said that the baby boomers were the buyer generation. There was
Mhm.
lots of them, and as they pass on, our generation is smaller and we have less buyers. So it's kind of a double whammy, So you're getting a market flooded with this stuff, and you're getting less buyers. But I don't think the desire is less. I think percentage of people out there that want this stuff, I think they're still buying it, but the market's just flooded. I think, like,
Yeah,
and
it
I think it's
changes
going to
too.
get worse. Like I think over the next 10 years, we're going to find it even more flooded, right? So,
It's funny around
Well, we always
Ottawa.
have to
Go
look for
ahead.
new, right?
and now if you got mint stuff, if you got like, well, I mean, Pete's was in the box and it looked mint. I don't know if it gets much better than that, but I think the better quality. Like, I don't think I would go get that old rusted toy that someone's going to maybe sandblast or at least repaint and just kind of make it nice. I don't know if that's going to be there. You might get $15 for something like that, but I don't know. I don't know. That's just a guess. You know what I mean? But I don't really know. But I just think I've been seeing a lot of that stuff out there. So
It's funny at the auctions here, all that stuff goes for good money. Like so much I don't even bother trying. Like the Tonka stuff, but also like you get the boxed trucks and pickup trucks and stuff like that. All those box vehicles, like the big ones, they still go for good money. So and they're all dealers buying it.
yeah, I think it's. I mean, I don't think it's gone the way of Royal Dalton's where it's dropped that much.
No,
I just mean it's dropped, or you could be sitting on it for a while. But I'm even talking older. Like I'm talking like Lincoln, Buddy Out, like the older press steel.
yeah,
Tonkas are one brand, but I don't think they're the best brand by any means.
Oh no, no.
Right? Um,
it's funny. I've been learning my Hot Wheels because those sell for me.
Mhm.
Uh, if it's the 70s now or 80s, I just pick them up, like if they're a reasonable price, of course. And then I go to the market and I just Google lens and try and figure out which ones are good. And often even the ratty ones,
Yeah.
I'll put $3 or $4 or $5 on it, and I just make a pile of them. And people who go to the flea market like picking up those little cars. That's not where my money comes from. That's for sure. if I found a red line, that'd be awesome. But I never see
Yeah.
it. I never
Never
see
seen one either.
what do you think the hottest kind of antique-ish collectible? You could call it antique if you want. I think it falls under antiques, but I think it's more of a collectible, but or a desired thing in my mind. But in your opinion, I'll tell you what I think. But right now, what do you think the hottest thing is out there?
Well, for us right now, brass is back. We're selling lots of brass.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird, but
I've heard that. I was told a while ago now, like for brass, stay away from the candlesticks unless
we
they're
sell lots
unusual.
of candlestick
You
holders.
still okay?
Yeah.
So maybe it's even better now. I mean, looking at that aisle, but
So I've always bought the candlesticks if you can pick them up for $5 or less.
Yeah, you got to, they don't go for as high a value, but I'll get, $28 sometimes for a candlestick holder.
Yep, but they
You
do
know?
sell. Yeah,
Yeah.
especially the multiple ones. What do you call them? Candelabras. Like if you get a candelabra with like I don't know, maybe
Oh yeah. I don't
four
ever,
holders and one in the center or something. Like to me, those are good, better.
yeah, I haven't really found any of those. So
so what type
Yeah,
of brass things are you talking about? Like if it's not candlesticks?
right now, if I'm yard selling or picking, I pick up pretty much anything that's brass if the price is right, and I just put it on the shelf. Sometimes I don't even know what some of the items are. They always sell.
If it's gold, it looks gold.
I find even the
A
smaller
large,
stuff, animals. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
statues.
Statues. I found I don't know, a Pegasus, I guess, the horse with wings. Like,
Yeah.
if you find them in brass, I mean, they always
Yeah.
sell. And
Yeah.
and
Large vases, etched vases.
yeah, and what it's that cloyonnaise brass with like enamel paintings on it and stuff. And that I don't know if that's back to where it used to be. I think when it was hot, that was before my time.
Me too. Yeah.
But I still find it sells if I can get it cheap, right?
Mhm.
It's still a
It's a
desire
buyer's
there, but
if you don't buy,
it's
right?
not the desire that the older group would say this is one time really good. I haven't seen that kind of money for it, but for me, if it's one of those things, if you pick it up for $5 or less, you'll do okay.
Mhm.
But I was gonna say, and I think you'll agree with me when I say this because maybe it just didn't hit your mind, but metal signs, porcelain signs, that stuff right now is super hot.
Oh, I wish I could get it,
Yeah,
but I don't have. I'm the sign guy actually at the store, but I have all reproductions. I can't find good signs.
you can't find good signs. I found one the other day. It was that post office porcelain sign I mentioned. I don't know if you heard that one,
Yeah.
but that's got to be the best sign I found. Like I can't find it either. These things are probably the hottest things right now. You
Well,
want
for
good
sure.
money, like you can get good money off that. Whether it's petrol's probably the best, but pop is really good.
Pop's really good.
Yeah, any type of advertisement, right? So, it's I don't know. I wished I could find it, but every
Yeah.
time I hear these stories of these guys finding this stuff, I'm like, I never find it. But
That's the sort of thing that comes up with the auction a lot, and I don't even go near it because the prices are crazy to me.
well,
So
it might seem crazy, but it might not be, Carl. Like I mean, like I hear guys like buying for $1,000, but they sell it for $6,000. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
$1,000 would be crazy to me. I'm not going to touch it, and then they sell it for 6,000. It's like,
Yeah.
what the heck?
I see a lot of those like door openers. Like on old shop doors, they would have like a bracket at the front with like Crush or Coke or something like that.
Oh yeah, the push bars.
Push bars. Yeah, I see those come up quite a bit.
What do they go for? Like, I mean, if you get it for $50, I think I'd be jumping on it.
Yeah, 20 to 50 usually. Depending.
You gotta make sure it's not a repo though. Like if it's original.
Yeah, there's lots of repos of those.
There's lots of repos.
Yeah, someone was showing me a porcelain sign that had repo rust along the edges. And I think I'm not sure, but it might have tricked him, right? Because he didn't look close enough. He was probably too excited. I'm not sure if he got tricked or not, but
yeah,
it looked good. Like because of the rust, kind of added some authenticity until he felt it and realized, oh wait, that's just part of the design. Now they make them look rusty, but yeah.
But no, it's interesting. It's interesting to see how things are going to go over the next couple years.
I'm going to cheat. I'm not doing antiques. I'm going to do collectibles. Pokemon.
That's a good. That sells out of our booth.
Yeah.
What do you
hear so many people now.
You guys do that, Ken?
No, we don't actually have anybody doing cards at all. I've stayed away from it because knowledge. I just don't know cards. Don't want to learn them.
Yeah.
I don't know them. I mean, I
Put 'em out
probably
and then they
hammer,
go.
but I just package them in groups. If
Yeah.
I find a box at a yard sale, I'll grab them, put them in little packages like this, and put $5-6 on them, and they fly out. Like Steph's grandson collects them and trades them and does all that kind of stuff. So he's been selling them out of our booth. I don't know, probably 6 months. Let's say since the summer, since we moved here. Let's say to St. Thomas. He's doing over 100, maybe $200 a month just in Pokemon.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
Maybe you better look into it.
yeah. It's crazy. So I have a bunch here. I'm going to get him to look through because he keeps the good ones, but he'll sell ones for $5 a piece, or he'll do the packages. I think she put $6 on them or something like that. So I mean, they're not huge money. It's just volume. Like people.
Well, it all helps pay the rent too.
Yeah. Well, he gets the full cut. I don't see any. I'm gonna start charging him. But no, we just have like a basket of this big, and they're just sitting there with the packages. The ones that are $5 or more, they're sold individually. We have them locked up, and it's crazy. Like, so one basket, no rent, and then a little space in a locked up cabinet, and he's doing like $100 to $200 a month.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, what is he, 7, 8? I don't know.
Doing better than me.
It's
So
crazy.
you said like you're known as a sign guy, right?
Yeah, so I started out. I had a supplier out of Niagara Falls, and I was just selling the larger reproduction signs.
Yeah.
And they sold really good when I started, and then it just that was almost 3 years ago, and they dropped right off, and then supply problems. I couldn't even get them for a while. So I ended up going to the tiny little TMU type signs, and they've been flying off the shelf, really. So
really?
We do have one person in the market. That's what all they do is those signs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw a lot of those, and now the light ups. So I just moved into the light up ones, and they're doing.
What's
before
that?
Christmas they did well. Nothing's moving right now, but
What's the light up?
so they're neon look-alike signs.
Okay, for like beer and stuff like that, or
beer, wine. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And they just have LEDs.
Music notes, turntable, light up turntables, stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, they were really hot for a while before Christmas, but they haven't I think they'll come back. But right now we're in a tourist market, so we are very seasonal as far as our sales go.
Do you want to say where you are?
Yeah, Muskoka.
Muskoka. Yeah, okay. So like that would be big during the summer.
Yeah, summer,
season, right? Yeah.
Yeah, our hot season's between May and Christmas. Goes pretty good season.
Yeah, that's long.
Yeah.
You get all the Toronto City people coming up there then.
We do.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, and then we have some tourist towns that are close to us that are high dollar, higher end ones, and even the dealers come and buy from us and resell it in their stores. So
wow. Okay.
We have that. I don't mind being the middleman.
No.
Yeah.
We're kind of the same way. We have bigger city, like they might be bigger, but they're not better, right, Ken? Like but they're bigger cities where they have they can get a little bit more of a dollar. They come and buy from us too. But I think it's better. I think it's better to be the middle person. I think it's even if you're the high dollar guy in the booth, as long as the other store is the low dollar. Like if you have the rarities, you'll still do well. But you need people in the store that are willing to drop the prices, and they don't need full retail, because that brings people back.
Yep.
So I kind of mix it up. I kind of sell a lot of stuff, but if it's a rarity or if it's something really good, I'm gonna max it out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I don't get too many rarities, but when I do,
yeah,
I do well on them.
yeah. Um, that's another. Any more questions? I'm gonna kind of divert it a little bit from
Yep.
any more questions, Carl.
Yeah, well, I wanted to know what like do you niche down? Like you said, you have signs, but do you sell everything? Like you personally in the store? I
Oh,
mean.
I sell everything. I sell everything from, I have 2 levels. So I have a booth on the basement and a booth on the main floor. Upstairs, I sell a lot of newer retail items, but also my rarities and anything that's high dollar is upstairs. And in the basement, I have old tools and, car grills, hubcaps. I mean, I sell everything.
Tools are interesting. The guy, a couple down from me, booths at the flea market sells tools, and he'll have days where he does really good, and then days where he hardly sells anything.
So I started out there as just a vendor in the basement selling mostly tools.
Yeah,
I have a hard time giving away a tool right now.
Yeah, right. Once
So
in a
I'm
while, he'll sell a
redesigning.
$500 one just to remind me that it's like, oh, there is some money in some of that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, the market always is changing, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of pulling that stuff actually and using that space for something that'll move.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I like to stay a little bit eclectic, is a little bit of everything. We have a lot of people that go through the store, and I don't want to just cater to 10% of them. I'd like to kind of, get most of them to come through on because a lot of them are repeat buyers, so I like to keep them happy to come through the booth. But yeah, tools are the funniest thing. Like you can sell a box full of it one day, and then you got something that's snap on and you think it's gonna fly off the shelf, and it's still sitting there. You know what I mean? It's really a weird thing. But I always chalk it up. It's like stamps. Like, I'm not diverse in my tools. I know snap on, but that doesn't mean I know it. You know what I mean? Like, a wrench could be $50-$60 and it can be $12.95. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a weird thing for me. But Hasnit is one I had learned, but the older tools and stuff like that, like, I don't think we have the clientele to come through where I can be asking the proper price anyways, right? So if it's in really good condition, I'd probably just put it online myself. But
yeah, that's
probably the word to put it.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have tools. Anything else like you like do? Like, what do you personally like doing there?
So what do I personally like doing there? That's a tough one. I keep changing, right?
That's good though. That's fun.
But anything that's really weird. I've got some beer bottles there that are that were they took the ends, ballooned them, and made them into an animal. Stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Anything that's different, something that's welded together. I love what do you call it? Trench art type things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anything like that. That's my favorite stuff to get into.
I've seen that occasionally, yeah. But
yeah. No, you don't get a lot of it, but when I'm picking, that's what I'm looking for. The weirdest stuff.
Yeah, it's always good, eh?
Brings people back.
Yeah.
Swords were hot. I don't have any left right now, but I sold last year I sold 6 swords, and this year I've sold 2 fencing swords with a big leather patch that was in the middle with like a bronze thing in the middle.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Anything that's weirder like that is great, but
swords are crazy. Like, I don't know. I was surprised. I was fortunate to be able to pick up a few swords this year, and anything from homemade like cosplay swords to decorative kind of almost souvenir-ish with the purple velvet.
That's
like everything is selling. Like, it's when it comes to swords, everything is selling.
What about the Knights of Columbus ones? I see those on occasion.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what that is.
Oh, really? That's funny.
What's that? Sorry, Ken?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, Knights of Columbus. It's like a.
I've heard of it, but
they're like a group, like the Shriners and stuff like that, right? Like, they're just.
And they had a sword.
They have swords, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very shield or something, right? Like part of their, like a real sword, maybe for their uniform or something.
Ceremonial. Yeah, they're
Ceremonial.
very. It's like cosplaying a bit.
Yeah.
So do you have a mix of new and old? Because you've mentioned you've had new stuff in the store too, right? Like you mentioned.
Yeah, so I sell soap, which is it's a Canadian one, an Ontario one, Big Willies, and it's got different sayings on it.
Big Willies.
Dirty sayings on the bar soap.
Yeah, that's fun.
But they've kind of slowed up to novelty new stuff is what I try to mix in with it.
Because you have like a lot of tourism too, so you don't necessarily need to have vintage and antiques. People are going there for a variety of reasons.
Yes, yeah. So our name is actually a gift store name. We never changed it, even though now we're more vintage than anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of those tourists probably own cabins, so they're probably looking for cabin related stuff.
Yeah, well, the cabins are, because on my day job I work on some of the cabins. They're 7,500 to 15,000 square feet. A lot of the cabins.
Yeah.
But we love the smaller cabins too.
Yeah. It's insane. When I call it a cabin, you think of a little shack, but yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I mean, I the last time I was in the Muskoka area, I would say Bracebridge is part of the Muskokas. Would it be?
It is. Yes, that's just one town south of me. We're in Huntsville. So.
Okay, so I was up at a friend of mine's cottage. Oh God, it was pre-COVID, and it was just outside of Bracebridge, really. Like probably, I don't even know if it was 30 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes. But you just hit a right. I couldn't even tell you the road, but we went down there, and then it was a longer drive back because he was out on this peak that went into the lake. But anyway, we went for a boat ride, and some of the cottages were incredible. They were like, like how they got the material back there is insanity to me. Like, it must have been.
There's a lot of barges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it's. I mean, that would make sense, but it just like windows that were. I mean, the windows in some of these cottages were like this. I don't know, the size of my driveway. You know what I mean? They're just huge. Like you can see, they must be the whole floor is just windows.
Yeah, there is some that are that big. I work on some of these places on my day job.
Oh, okay.
They have to use a crane, huge cranes to get them in.
Yeah.
Where my wife's relatives have a cottage in the Big Rideau system to the west of Ottawa. It's like that. You had all these cottages from 1910s, 20s, and they're slowly disappearing. And these kind of McMansion kind of cottages are all popping up around instead. A totally different crowd,
I couldn't imagine what they cost.
I don't think they care.
Yeah, like I mean the cottage I went to, it was owned by the kids. It was handed down from the grandfather, so all the grandkids are kind of owning it now. And I think there were 6 or 7 of them. So I think it was worth it was, hey dude, for me a cottage, it was perfect. Like it was really good. It was like bungalow style, 1 floor, but you had to flush the toilet a certain way. Like there was plumbing and stuff like that you had to consider. But it was worth like $1.5 million. And then we go back there and we take a little fishing boat type thing with a motor, and then you see these huge mansion things, and I'm like, what's that, 10 million? Like, what would that be worth? Like, it had to be, it was 10 times the house and property. It would have to be, you know what I mean? Insane money.
Yeah. I think they build stuff that costs more to build than they could resell it for.
Yeah. I would agree. I would think that makes sense. And there's not just 1 or 2 on this lake. Like, they're all across the lake. Like they're just, and that's 1 lake.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine how many lakes are up there. They're probably
there's tons and tons and tons of lakes. And I bet you even on the cheapest lake, you're not going to get just a lot for under 700,000.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and this is the 1.5 was pre-COVID. So yeah, who knows how much it's worth now, right? It's gotta be crazy. But,
So for your
Yeah.
for your market there, right? Have you learned any lessons like you would say to people who are trying to open a booth and stuff like that? Like you probably don't get a lot of turnover in terms of people who have booths in there, right?
No, we get people asking all the time that want to come in, but we don't really have any turnover.
No.
So when I took over, there was just we added some vendors because the rent went way up when I for the new lease, and so we added some vendors to help circumvent that, right? And that was almost it'll be my third year as an owner this fall,
Yep.
and we've lost two vendors now.
Yeah.
One because of retirement, kind of moving out of the area, and one was during my takeover. We did some space changes and stuff. So really, we haven't lost anybody when you really think about it. And one of the vendors that, like one vendor that we did lose came back because he was the partner before I was the partner. He's back now.
Okay.
And we have a waiting list as well. So
It seems like that for most places have waiting lists.
yeah.
Like around Ottawa, I would love to get into those places, but they all have waiting lists, or they won't even put you on a waiting list.
Yeah.
Right?
I like the waiting list because it's so long. When time goes by, a lot of those people probably aren't going to be wanting it now. So when you call, you need people on the waiting list because you're going to have to bump down one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, eh? So
I just want to touch on the waiting list. Like the waiting list sounds good in some ways, but a lot of times too, and correct me on this because I'm not on this end of it like you are, Ken, but like you got to be careful too, right? Who you bring in, right? Because they're representing you, especially if it's a smaller, if you got 6 to 10 vendors, like every vendor's representing each other, right? So
yeah. We have to ask now. We have to go through what they're selling, what their plans are. We have another requirement: if they're on the main floor, they have to work the store, like take a day.
Which is good for both parties because I've worked a few times, just because it was a busy time, a year or a day or a weekend or whatever, and you learn what the buyers are like, and it's important what they're buying and all this kind of stuff and how they approach. I don't know. To me, I maybe I overthink it, but I like to see how the buyers react and how they deal. Sometimes I'll just stand there and I'll look like I'm a buyer myself and I'm in my booth. I like to overhear how they're talking about my stuff. You know what I mean? But
It's
you
fun.
see what they're buying because if you like, well, we have 80. They call it 80 vendors, but there are many people like myself who have multiple booths. So there might be 80 spots, but much less vendors. You know what I mean? Because they'll have multiple spots. So there's a very eclectic amount of stuff there. Even though my booths kind of represent that, they do gravitate to a style that I'm into, which means like maybe I stay away from glass or teacups or things that I don't know, stamps. But I like to see maybe things that I'm not picking up, but they're picking up from other booths and how much money they're getting from them. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So, I think it pays off to work. Like,
well, when I started in the basement and I volunteered, even though I didn't have to work, to help out up at the cash, and it's invaluable.
Yeah.
I learned so much, and then look where I am now. So.
Yeah.
Well, in your position too, and Carl and I have talked about this on the show where we put a sign at our booth to try to get people to want to sell to us. Do you do anything like that? Or
I don't put a sign, but basically people email, we hand out cards, people come in, they want to sell. I buy stuff at the counter all the time when I am working.
Yeah.
I take money with me every day, and I have tons of people that sell me stuff over the counter. Nice. Just like a swap shop, I guess.
Yeah.
And I have repeat ones that do that too. If it's the right item, I'm going to buy it.
The right item, because I had that happen to me just this weekend. like at the last 5 minutes of the mall closing or the flea market, right? We're inside. It's an inside flea market at this time of year. And someone came up and they wanted to sell a bunch of CDs and tapes. And like all the other things are like, I'm the last guy there almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I ask, well, what genre is it? And they say country music and pop. And I'm not interested in those, right? And I felt bad. And the guy, and I said, oh, I'm not interested, not really. And he said, well, I got 100 of these tapes and CDs. And he said, well, throw me an offer. And it's like, I don't even want this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the answer. I should have just said, I'm not putting it. And I said, I have an offer, but it's embarrassing. I don't even want to say it.
I wouldn't even offer it. I wouldn't have offered.
Well, see, this is my learning. I'm always like, I'm sure you've listened to me complain about this. It's not my strength, right? So I'm always learning this, especially when I'm not quick on my feet, right? And so I said, $10 for the tapes. I said, I don't even want them, but $10. He's like, oh, I want 40. Not in a bad way, just like in a counter. I said, yeah, it just won't work. Because it's like, it was interesting though, right? Like for me, the experience of buying, and I have bought stuff at the, my little booth too. I like that. In fact, in a way that's more profitable for me is that aspect than the actual selling of the stuff. You know what I mean? But it is hard. Like, so like, I think in the next case where I had something like that happen, where I'm really not, I won't even bother running an offer, because like with for example, tapes, right? They take up lots of room. I only sell them for like $3 or $4 anyways. They're not, I'd rather not even have them in my booth. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather have something much better there. So,
yeah. And it depends on your space. You have limited space. I have a ton of space.
Right.
So if it's classic rock tapes, I'll buy them all day long.
Yeah.
I don't really care that they take a little while, but I do mark them up pretty good. I don't, I sell some cassettes for $10, $12. And they sell. Yeah. It's just, you got to know your titles. And that's kind of where I excel too, is in even the rock albums. I know which ones to put up and which ones to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. With records, we do that. Like I'll have different prices for the different records, but my buddy is co-signing into my booth. So he has to worry about all that stuff, right? With the CDs and tapes, I just do a flat amount because I can't be bothered.
I put the good stuff upstairs and I put my $2 records downstairs.
$2 records? Yeah, I don't have any of those. But like, if anything was really good, like a tape or a CD, like the nice thing about like for CDs is you can just scan the barcode.
Yeah.
So I just comp them. And if there's any sales at all, then okay, it goes in the booth at the lowest value. But if it's something really good, like, and I mean good, like 15 or bucks or more, I'll put that online. But not too many of those, to be honest.
I get lots of picks too, Scott, from being on the counter.
Yeah.
That's what I think you were headed.
Yeah. That's right.
And then email too, like, because people email me first to see if I want to do a clean out or whatever. I decide if I want to go and I pass it on to the others if I don't.
Yeah.
Right. So it's kind of a good spot to be in.
How do you handle that when someone emails you and says, I have a bunch of stuff I want to sell?
I get them to send pictures, and then I pick and choose what I want, and I show the other pictures around, and we all make deals.
I just go. I always find,
if it's a pick, I'll just go. I got some couple of good ones, but
yeah, because I always find that they don't know the stuff. They don't know what I'm looking for. They think they know, you know what I mean, but they don't really know. So I don't know. I
always tell them, before you get a dumpster, call me.
Yeah. Wow.
Because all the good stuff I want's in the dumpster usually.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I don't get that opportunity because, we just threw out 4 dumpsters there. Now we can move and you can see the stuff. No, I want it when I can't see the stuff. I want it. I want to dig it. But yeah, that was the last one I went to. Got a bunch of CNR, CPR, oil cans, and different things.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good one. That's where I got the porcelain sign and stuff. It was probably, it started the year off good, right? So that was a good pick for the year. But
is your tobacco stuff still moving, or because my tobacco stuff's kind of fallen quite a bit?
I would say it's fallen for Sure. Are you talking tins and stuff like that?
Tins and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it still moves. I think it's been gone for a while, to be honest with you. I remember the
I
time.
started with, and then it's fallen off, right?
Yeah, like I remember a time you could put $15-$20 on a lot of just generic tins when I first started, and they would go. But now, I think I'm down to about $10 a tin. It has to be in good shape, can't be scratched up, right? Um, and I pass on a lot of them, to be honest. Cigar boxes are way down. Like I can't,
Yeah, I'm not moving any of
can't
those
even
now.
give them away now. But
I have a little
um,
section of that stuff, and yeah, it honestly no one even looks at it. Like there's like tobacco cutters, there's like
well,
cigar boxes, there's the pipes, right?
tobacco cutters can be good if it's got like an image on them, right? Like a
Yeah.
horse or something like that. I found that those can be okay. You're just talking like, are you talking
Generic.
like the wood and the
Yeah,
chopper
I was
one?
talking
Yeah.
mostly tins. Yeah.
And then, but yeah, I mean, I think if it's like maybe a porcelain sign or something, I think you're okay. Like it was Black Cat, was that a tobacco?
That was a tobacco one, yeah.
Right. I think something like that would still do very well because it's advertising. But I think for the most part, I think tobacco has fallen for sure.
It's on my eventual chopping block for my booth. Like I've been getting rid of stuff that is just taking up space and never moving.
So is that what you said, Carl? Chopping block or
Yeah,
tobacco chopper?
that was a very subtle joke, I
Oh,
guess.
okay. Because
But yeah, it's gonna go.
you can get the chopping block, like the chopping for the tobacco and stuff like that. I think they do good.
Well, you can come by mine because it's been sitting there. I think I got two of them.
Like I said, if they have an image on them, I'm going to look them up because I haven't seen one for a while.
Well,
To be
I'm
honest,
sure there's some good ones. These are just generic ones.
Yeah, I don't have any.
So, but yeah, I'm thinking of getting rid of that section because no one's buying it. Maybe it's in a bad spot. That can happen too. You know, so there's always a joke. You move something and then it goes right. But so when people come in with stuff you just not that interested in, do you ever like buy it anyways, hoping they'll bring you more stuff, or do you just like?
Not very often. No, I'm usually pretty cut and dry. I don't beat around the bush. I go yes, no. I'll tell them what to go home and look for that I might be interested in, or I'll offer to go out. But nobody ever wants me to go out, so very rare.
Yeah. I find they disappear sometimes. Like I'm getting emails once in a while too. Like I'll have one the other week, and then they'll say, "Oh, I have a bunch of this stuff," and I go, "Oh yeah, I'm interested," and then you don't never hear.
It ghosts you. Yeah,
it goes, which is fine. Like I'm not that keen to go out anyways, to be honest. But yeah, do you have a website or anything you use?
I did. I had one for I had a Wix one. It was terrible to work with, but so I did that for a year, and then I found that it didn't really do anything for me.
No.
So I got rid of it. The biggest thing that brought people into our store is when I took over, I got us on Google Maps, and business doubled.
Yeah, it's funny how people don't want to do any advertising. The smallest little things can make a difference, eh?
Yeah.
It's also funny when you go through small towns and you see, and I didn't realize it, but I guess they would have to apply for it. But I was looking for like a small little town somewhere, and there was like all these mom and pop shops started popping up, and I'm like why would Google Maps put these stores on here? But I guess now after what you're saying,
get on there.
They're the ones that applied to be on there. Okay.
Yeah.
I put my own house on there by accident as my location. It's like, wait, I don't want to actually locate it on there. And
so we're in an amazing location because we're right on the main street.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no parking. That sucks. Even to get to the store to work, it sometimes is an issue.
Oh, that's annoying
in the summer. But no parking, but we do incredibly well because we get a lot of international tourists. And they actually buy. I don't know how they get it home, but they buy a lot of stuff.
Not your problem.
They might have a cottage or cabin up there too, right? Maybe.
Well, yeah.
They're not bringing stuff from the States. They're just coming here, buying and putting it right in their car. But do you sell furniture? Do you find furniture something, or is that?
So when I started, the whole basement was furniture.
Yeah.
pretty much, other than my booth down there. And big furniture stopped moving, so we all kind of got out of it. We didn't really like all the moving and shifting you had to do every time you sold a big piece of furniture.
Yeah.
So we've moved more and more towards smalls. I hear big furniture is kind of coming back, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's one of those love-hate relationships. Like, if I can get it cheap and I threw it in the booth and then it sits there for a month and all of a sudden you get $300 or $500 sale, then it's like, oh, I can live with that. But I gravitate to furnitures that I can utilize in my booth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Either it's like a display cabinet or
That's what I do.
Yeah, it's something I can set and it decors the booth nicely or something like that. But it is a pain in the butt moving it, right? So
we have one vendor who has a lot of furniture, and I bet you that stuff's been there 2 years, a lot of it, right? Like, I can't do that myself.
Well, furniture's weird. I mean, if you could get primitive stuff, which is really hard to find, but like, an old like a harvest table or something primitive, right? I think those things, even though they've dropped in price, I still think they
I
do
think
well.
harvest tables always move. Yeah.
Yeah. Pie cupboards, they can do okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if
Little
it's
old
the right,
farm tables, I'll buy an old farm table anytime they come up. Something like that.
yeah. I find it more of a primitive style that I gravitate to. I think anything like even 1920s kind of factory made can be tough to sell. Like, but I think if you got a nice primitive piece, which are hard to get, especially cheap. I mean, you could get $500 to $800 pretty easily, and it's probably going to sell quicker than the $200-300 other piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I just find it really hard to find that stuff. So, but anyway, I don't know. Furniture's a love-hate thing. And I keep saying I'm not going to do it, and then I'll find a piece for $10, and I'm like, okay, I have to buy this now, or something ridiculous on an auction. I even brought a couple pieces home that Steph's yelling me at about because it's blocking everything in the garage.
Oh no!
It's blocking everything because everything else I have already did block most stuff. So now these two pieces are in there and it's blocking everything. So what are you going to do with that? But I mean, how do you say no? Like, I bought a nice. It says 1920, something like that, 1920s. But it was a divider out of an old public school local to here. It's written on the back. But it would have been one of those dividers. It was wood, obviously, and all the teachers' mail would have went into these slots, right?
Oh yeah, I like stuff like that.
I like stuff like that, right? And I'm like, how do I not buy that? How do I not get that? The other piece is a little bit cheaper. It's more modern, but the price was so good. It was on a private pick, but it was just a little corner piece, which it has a primitive look, but it's definitely not primitive. It's modern. But I just think I think somebody will like it. But it's just like, I don't want to buy it, but I can't say no. I don't know. It's like that's what I hate about furniture. And then I got to move it around and stuff's yelling at me. Not seriously yelling, but it's just like she's annoyed.
Our hottest vendor right now sells a lot of mid-century, and the shelves with the bamboo and stuff, I can't stand them. But
yeah,
they sell for big bucks. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard that's back. Yeah.
Well, it's because of the city. The city people are probably loving that stuff,
mm-hmm.
right? I don't. That doesn't go too well with the country folk like myself, but I find the mid-century modern stuff, like the city people just really like that. Like,
yeah, it's still hot. It's been hot for a while. When I was down in Barrie with my booth, I was selling a lot of mid-century lamps for big bucks.
Well, that lamp you had, that would sell out of the booth. Like, that is something that people around here would have grabbed. That was a beautiful lamp. Like, that was like 3 or 4 years ago, the lamp I'm talking about. Like I don't know if you'll ever see one of those again in your
They're
life.
so hard to find.
Yeah.
I've got a couple right now. I haven't put them out yet, but haven't decided how I'm going to sell them yet.
But it's I had a few pieces that definitely were mid-century modern that will sell here. I'm just talking about more of like the furnitures and stuff like that. But the lamps, like that was one of the best lamps I've seen. You had a picture. I don't know if you sent it on my phone or if you posted it or somehow I just remember seeing it. And
it was after one of your shows, and
yeah. So I mean, there's that aspect too, where I mean, even teak, like everybody goes crazy over teak, but I can't sell teak for the prices that I hear people selling it for, right? Like
I just had people come in looking for it, and I'd been to a pick and I turned it all down, and there was a beautiful teak dining room set, which was lovely. I liked it, but I wasn't moving it. I didn't have a truck at the time. And then the next week somebody comes in looking for exactly that.
Yeah.
And it's already gone, right?
Yeah. But if you did buy it, you'd be still talking about holding on to it. And what the hell am I going to do with this?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the craziness of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
What I've noticed is some of the vendors, instead of trying to bring in the furniture, they'll take pictures, and they'll have the pictures in their booth of what they have.
Oh, I never thought of that.
That saves the extra move in the storage in the booth.
I like that.
Store it at home, Carl.
Sorry?
Well, then you have to store it at home.
Yeah, but that's good because they don't have to. There's not the double move. You know what I mean? And they might be even using it, right? And so it's like, well, if it sells, it sells, right? Like, I don't know if it works for them, but I've noticed them do it.
One thing that we've started doing with not just furniture, like we're doing with everything, is Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys do a lot of that through your store at all, or your stuff?
Yeah, some of our vendors, that's how they kind of promote their sections is on there. I just haven't had time to. I was working a full-time job plus all this, so up until recently it was 7 days a week till Christmas, and then I feel like I'm on a holiday right now.
Yeah. One job, only 5 days a week is a holiday.
Yeah, I'm actually my regular job. I'm working 1 day this week. I worked 1 day last week, and then I'm only working 1 day at the store right now too. So,
okay.
Unless somebody's sick or snowed in or whatever. Yeah.
You guys been getting much snow up there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So ours came south of here. They got big piles of it, but ours came slowly this year. But it's accumulated a lot. We have a lot of snow.
We got a lot of snow here, but I mean, like it comes and then all of a sudden we'll get 2 weeks later we'll get a week of warm weather. Like right now we're going through a warm spell. Like everything's melting. Even at nighttime it's melting.
You're lucky.
I think we're like plus
it's like I always have to shovel no matter what.
Yeah.
I think we're at +6 yesterday. And today we're going to go to +1, -3 tomorrow. And then all week, wow. So Friday, I'll just run this to you, is 0. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday is +3. Tuesday, Wednesday, +7.
Well, we probably will go up too. We might even hit 0 then, if that's your case. We're -4 right now. Nice.
Yeah, I'm jealous. What can I say?
But you know what?
We just got off -30 weather, so it's balmy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I was doing a little research because I'm writing a book, and it deals with Alberta. What was I just forget what I was gonna say. Oh God, what was I gonna say? Anyways, carry on. What were we just talking about? We were talking about.
Well, I wanted to know about, Ken. Like you said, you started selling online again. And what made you start doing that?
I haven't started yet, but what I want to do, I prefer online because I can do it when I want to do it.
Yes.
I like the freedom of that rather than the store.
Yeah.
What I like about the store is you can clean your item, price it, and put it out, and you're done. It's nice and easy.
Yeah. Make a pile.
Yeah, if I didn't have to be at the store all the time, which
No.
might happen in the future,
Yeah.
I would prefer to get back to online and specialize this time rather than just do all the stuff I was doing before, because I have a huge collection of vintage audio and vintage audio parts. So I'd like to just specialize in vintage audio parts, really. And for my eBay store. So I'm going to keep my eBay. I closed my eBay store, but I'm still an eBay seller.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even for myself, the store, like in terms of like, the cost isn't that high. I think it's $30 or $35 a month. I can't even quite remember, but it is marginal. But it's definitely one of those things. The more you list, the more you sell.
I know what I was going to say now, and I don't want to miss this. So I was looking at Northern Alberta off-grid living as part of the book that I'm working on, and then I just kind of like, you look at southern part of all those provinces there, and then you look where we live. We are so far down south in this little peak where I live, which is, southern Ontario, I guess you'd say. It's phenomenal how big our country is, how big the provinces are and everything. But that chunk that goes down south, we've talked about this before, I think, on the show, but it parallels with the northern part of California. Yeah, I don't know if you guys knew that. I think Carl.
So why do we have so much snow?
Well, I think the Great Lakes, I think we do get the cold weather. I think even Northern California it's on the West Coast, so it's a little different there. But, I mean, it can get cool there as well, like winter jackets and stuff. But it's phenomenal to me. And I just looked at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was still up last night. But it was phenomenal to me the first time I really looked how far the tip of southern Ontario really does go. It's crazy. So for us to get like +7, I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? In mid-February, I don't know. That's where I was, and I just wanted to finish that because I don't know why my brain just kind of shot out there, and I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, okay, carry on, guys. I don't know. To me, it's crazy to think that Canada can still be parallel to the northern part of California. I don't know. That's where I stand on that. But
Yes.
so anyway, you guys are quiet. Go ahead, Carl.
I just wanted to let you talk.
No, I did that last night, and I don't know. I'm like 56, and I don't know why I didn't really realize how far south it went before. So I was intrigued.
Yeah, and the lake effect too is a huge effect. Yeah, but yeah, with online eBay, it's like, yeah, I love putting things in a box and sending it off, or like you're not even doing anything, you're having a nap, and then you get a sale.
Yeah, I miss that. Yeah,
it is nice, right?
I'd be at the campfire at when I used to get to go to my trailer because I've been too busy, but we'd be at the campfire and I'd sell like 5 things while I'm around the campfire and I'm just smiling, right?
It feels good, eh?
Yeah.
Because like at that point, like 80% of the work's already done. You only have to do the shipping, which is honestly with the stuff I'm
shipping, I got to go down pat.
Yeah, I got to pack tomorrow, I guess, but it's not as I'm selling a lot smaller stuff, so I'm not as intimidated by packing anymore, right?
Me either. No.
And I'm not really selling any more glass or pottery where I have to make sure.
I did tons of glass and pottery is what I did.
Ooh.
And I didn't mind shipping it.
Yeah, I had too many breakages, so
never had any. What the? Oh, that was a nice car. What's?
It's a book.
Oh, okay. Wow!
I sold that yesterday.
$250.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So I sell a lot of those coffee table books at the store. Like if I can get the big hardcover car books and stuff. Yeah.
I have had people talking to me saying the big coffee table books sell. But I never looked into it because it's like, it's heavy and big.
Heavy and big. But I'll get local ones, Algonquin Park, stuff like that. And then I've got the right people coming in for those, right? So
that would be considered a coffee table book just because of the size of it. It was quite large. But it was also a specialty on that certain Austin Healey vehicle, right?
Yeah.
And I bought a bunch of car books. Most of them were manuals from the 40s and 50s and 60s. But that was in there. And I was like, when I looked it up, because I look up every single book now because I can't believe what some go for. But when I looked that one up, I'm like, I couldn't believe that that's what it was going for. And it's
Yeah.
only been listed probably a month. Like it hasn't been listed that long. But yeah, so I think it went out to BC. Went out yesterday. So that's what I love about eBay, where you
Yeah.
can get like crazy prices that you couldn't get anywhere else. You know what I mean? For stuff. Like I put that in the booth for I don't know, probably 10, $20. It'd probably still be sitting there.
Exactly, and you'll get rolling eyes at the price, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for $10, I just don't even think anybody would even look at it, to be honest with you. Right? It's just not. I don't know.
Oh, I think I could sell that one at the booth, but I'm only going to get like $30 for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
I had to call eBay yesterday though because I had a problem with my zone tables for like things to BC where it's supposed to charge more and it's not working. So I called them, and I kept getting put on hold as they're looking into it. Eventually, they just hung up on me. I'm pretty sure the guy's like, I don't know the answer, and I don't want a negative on my reviews of like couldn't answer the question, so I'll just pretend lost connection. What are you gonna do? So I was like, oh man, I got to call back. But
so it's funny you brought that up, Carl, because I had an incident this week, and I almost forgot to talk about it. But I got a neutral. So this person, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this. It was a brand new book, and this person wanted to return it. It was international shipping. So eBay takes on that, right? Like they look after that. So, but this one kept coming back to me, but eBay kept saying, don't worry about it. We're handling this. It's international shipping. But it was $100 book. So this was going on and on and on. And this thing kept popping up. But I was told to ignore it through eBay. And then the person gave me a neutral this week. And they said that it was really hard. It was like, be careful of buying from Canada because the return policy on international shipping is it was a buyer remorse situation, which I didn't know at the time. But anyway, so they were able to get 50% of the back, but then they had to ship it. And basically, I don't know, they went through this big complaint. I would give a negative, but it's eBay's fault and not the buyers. Or not the sellers. And I'm like, but that's affecting me. You know what I mean? So I called up eBay. Anyways, eBay said, we looked at your request to have this removed, and it's been denied.
call back.
And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I like called them right back.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on hold for 7 minutes, and I just happened to refresh it. And then there was a second email saying, we looked after this. Congratulations. It's been removed.
That's the way you were supposed to do it. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, now do I just hang up on them? Or sorry, I wasn't on hold. I was waiting for them to call. Do I answer the call or not? So anyways, I answered it. I explained it. And she's like, okay. I'm just like, you guys said they denied it. And now you're accepting it. So I really don't need to talk to you anymore. But I just wanted to let you know that. But anyway, it was kind of rambling.
She was like, oh, thank God I didn't have to do anything.
That's probably it. But
that's all she cared about.
But like, why would they deny it and then remove it?
Because someone screwed up.
Like within minutes.
Yeah, someone screwed up.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's been removed. So I was happy, but I don't know. It just kind of ticked me off. But anyways, that was block of the week. That person got blocked.
Yeah, block of the week. There we go. It's been a couple of yeah.
But
so you're on EIS now as well, right? The eBay International Shipping. Ken, you said you had
I had one sale. I've had one international sale, and it went well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a funny one. I had one as a magazine go to the United States, and I'm pretty sure I set all my magazines to ship by me. So I'm not sure what happened there. Something else was like, do I want to deal with this or not? I probably won't. Because I have the shipping policies for magazines I ship myself because there's no tariffs on magazines. And
I took all my magazines off and I put them in the store, and they've been selling good at the store. So
I like magazines. You get a lot of volume, a lot of money in one spot. You know what I mean? Like potential sales in one spot without a lot of work, really.
Yeah. Vintage spin magazines, music magazines. I've got tons and tons of them to put out that I bought at auctions years ago. My death pile.
Yeah, I've been selling heavy metal, like the cartoons, comic books.
Oh,
and, Dragon magazines from D&D and stuff like that. They've been doing pretty good. So.
Oh yeah, D&D stuff always does well.
I love D&D.
Mad magazines were a big staple for me, but I pulled mine till next summer. I'm going to put them back out next summer.
Yeah, Mad magazines, the early ones. Yeah. But
so and this goes for either one of you, like or both of you. Any good picks that you want to talk about, like recently?
Well, I have none, so that's easy.
Yeah, I had one. My next door neighbor, he's a scrap. He does scrap. Yeah. So he always calls me when he has some scrap. And then I go in and look at it. And I got a globe. I don't have it close, but I got a brass globe with a glass ball in the middle that's got actually gold etching kind of in the globe part. It's really cool. It's got one little damaged spot, but I was pleased with that. And then I got a big electric clock. They always seem to do well. That's about it recently.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I look for the flip clocks.
So flip clocks. That's a good one.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
Flip clocks for years.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I've never put any in the store. So I had somebody in while I was working at the store wanted a flip clock. So I said, I can have one here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So I went into not my hoard at storage, but my hoard at home. And I grabbed 4 flip clocks, cleaned them all up, got 2 working. Took them to the store. He bought one, put the other one on the shelf, and it sold a week later.
Wow. I don't know. Yeah.
$100 for the one flip clock.
I believe it. I sold one just for parts like 2 weeks ago. It's
wow.
And I'm not going to fix these things. I'm not. But it's sold for parts, so.
I'm just looking here, and they're still holding strong, eh?
That flip clock that I sold for $100 was on eBay for $249.
Wow.
As a sold. And I told them in the store, I said, I got one with big numbers. And I said, yeah, probably $100 I'd take for it. Right. So I let it go for the 100.
It's funny. A flip clock is probably something you'd have to explain to anyone under 40 what the hell we're talking about. Right. There's 2 types. There's one with these little squares. I was always fascinated by this thing as a kid. I say, this is magical.
Oh yeah, me too. I sat and watched it for hours.
Yeah. we didn't have the entertainment that they have nowadays. Yeah. But yeah, there are 2 types. One with the blocks and then one with actually kind of like little placards, right? I guess I've seen
the
those.
Placards are the ones you want.
Yeah. But it's fun, all the different things. You're like, that's worth how much? And what?
Yeah.
You know?
I wish I'd looked it up before I talked to them.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like listening to shows or watching you too, because like once in a while you'll go like, what WTF? Like, why is that worth so much money, right?
Yeah.
Like I haven't looked at flip clocks. It's got to be a couple years since I really looked to see what their value are, but they might even have gone up. Like they're still strong.
I was shocked.
Yeah. Wow. I'm scrolling and there's endless cells and they're all strong.
I used to sell a lot of the red LED ones on Etsy. Not flip clocks, but LED clock radios. I couldn't believe how many I sold.
Yeah, those I don't look at. They're worth picking up.
I don't know. Now I don't know if I don't think they're moving now, but they were hot for COVID, around COVID.
You ever stop and wonder like who's all buying this kind of stuff? Like there's a lot of sellers. Like you just like who's buying all this stuff? Sometimes I wonder. Like you just like we are a society of consumption. Like we just right. Like everybody just I don't know. It's not like you're competing antique stores. I mean, there's, I don't know, there's Leon's, there's the Brick, there's Walmart's, there's like everybody's selling something, and yet even like Goodwills and like there's just constant buyers.
I think it's entertainment. What I find is being in a tourist town, people come up even to the campground,
Yeah.
and they look on their phone and they see vintage store, and they come in, and sometimes they just buy just for entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Which is, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining, but I'm just like there's auctions, there's eBay, there's Etsy, there's every Amazon. Like it's crazy how much buying is out there, you know. And then we'll go through the store and there'll be like a line up to the cash, or it'll just be a busy weekend, and I don't know. It's just phenomenal to me how much stuff can sell. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like I get some of the stuff, like I can get it, but like I'm looking at flip clocks here, and there's endless sales. I'm looking at sold comps, and it's probably one of the strongest. But I'm like, and you're talking about LED, and I'm like, how many clocks are actually people requiring out there? You know what I mean? And it just boggles my mind sometimes. You know, I mean, we all have phones. It's not like we need to know what time it is. You know, we all know what time it is, but they're still out there buying these things. It's just, and this is just one thing. Like, it's not, I mean, we've talked about mid-century modern to furniture to art to pressed steel trucks. We talked about everything, and there's so many buyers for all that kind of stuff. It just boggles my mind.
Yeah, and people want those nostalgia feelings too, right? That comforting feelings.
Yeah, but how many clocks do you need to fulfill that feeling? Yeah. That's what I'm.
Well, hopefully more. Hopefully lots.
Yeah, hopefully more, because I haven't even dug into my storage for a long time. So
yeah. It's just crazy to me. But
so I bumped into a reseller at Valley Village, and he said, "Oh, Carl, I got myself a storage unit." And I said, "No, man. Once you pass that line, it's hard to get back." It's like so many people tell me they're so happy when they finally get rid of their storage unit.
I want out so bad, and I can't seem to do it. It got cold, and I said, "I'll screw it," and I paid for another year. You save 20% if you pay for a year. So.
Yeah,
you have to think about it. Yeah, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I've been there. It's just, I just keep, like I've even, like I've bought up to like 15 storage units, the contents, right, in those auctions and stuff. But I just keep looking at how much you're paying for that stuff to be stored. So how much are you losing on that stuff?
I was just doing my book. It's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah,
right?
It's huge. Yeah, it's crazy. So it's nuts.
It's eventually going to come to the point where you've lost money, like over enough time. You know, I mean, it's really weird. I'm going to digress for a little bit, but we used to talk about poker a lot more than we have lately. But we compare certain things to the poker game. There was one night I was at the casino, and I was way later than I should have been, and it gets there to the point where there's no new players coming to the table, and everybody went super tight. Like there was no fish there. There was nobody just smashing the pot, making a high. You can't sit back, wait for the right cards to grab that big pot. They were just trickling their stuff in, like limping in and then folding quickly. Really, really tight game. But the dealer representing the casino was still taking that rake every day. So all that was going around was that pot going around, people throwing their money in, and the rake taking pieces and pieces. And I thought to myself, it'll just keep going around till no money's left on the table, because there's no new money coming. Nobody's really winning because nobody's really splashing the pot full of stuff. And if you think about it, if everybody starts with $100, but that pot keeps going around and they keep grabbing $5 at a time, or $10 at the time, depending on what level you're playing, it doesn't take long for all that money of all the players to be going to the center. You know what I mean? Like storage units are kind of the same way. It just absorbs all your stuff.
It's taking my profits.
It's taking your profits, and it just keeps raking that profit in. So
I used to justify it with the online sales because basically my online paid for all my storage.
Yeah.
And more.
Yeah.
And now I'm not selling anything online. So now I'm feeling it.
Well, so there is, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I do see people living out of apartments where they don't have that space. And if they're running their business out of that, it's part of an expense of running that business. And I can understand that because you're pushing stuff through it, right? It's like having a store.
Mm-hmm.
But for it to just sit there, like I remember I sold just a primitive cupboard I found in an old abandoned barn, but it was a primitive cupboard, and he didn't like somebody had changed the floor to plywood, but everything else was proper on it, so he ended up buying it. And the guy said, I don't really need this. He's got like 4 storage units full of this stuff, and he's waiting for primitive furniture to come back, which in my mind it's the only stuff that like it really sells. It's the only stuff that I feel that it's going to sell, but it's not at the level that he expects it to be at. Like he wants, I don't know, 20 years ago when this stuff was going for triple the amount or whatever. But I'm just like, dude, by the time it comes back to what you're thinking, if it ever does, right now you got 4 storage units. How much are you paying on those units to store that furniture waiting for it to come back? Like, I don't know. I don't know. That was just,
There's a psychological thing there that it's not a loss until he sells the stuff, and then it's a loss. Until then, there's the potential gain he's thinking of when it comes back, right? You know what I mean? Like if he executes this now, gets rid of the items that are in storage units, right? All the money spent on storage unit is now a loss. But it's not a loss right now because he's thinking of this potential gain. There's a name for that. I can't even remember the psychological thing for that. But
I used to do a lot of storage unit at one point. Like I shouldn't say I had a lot. I had 2 and they were full. You know what I mean? And then eventually it just didn't make sense. So so now it's all in the house.
yeah, but are you talking about when you were moving? Like
no.
Oh,
well, that was 2, but that was a different scenario because my plan was to get it out of there as quick as possible.
I was going to justify that one, right? Like when you're moving out, you need to do that stuff. But yeah, it's hard. Like, you know, I can talk to most resellers, and I'd say at least have a storage unit somewhere with stuff in it, right? And
dude, yeah, go ahead.
Out of sight, out of mind. You know? Yeah,
I have 3 full, and I have a garage full, a loft in the garage full, a basement full. I built 2 sheds this year that were supposed to alleviate the storage units, and they're almost full.
They come really filled up. Yeah, it is hard. Yeah,
the problem.
Yeah, you know what I did to kind of help that, but my mindset was to not keep the storage units. Like
I gotta get there.
They were an hour away. They were set up in Simcoe for an easy. I could every day just get them there, get us out of the house, and then I could start bringing them back. But my plan was to get rid of them ASAP. I had a yard sale, and I wasn't afraid to let things go. I still got a profit, but I definitely did not get near retail on a lot of stuff. A lot of resellers were coming and grabbing the stuff. So the really, really good stuff, the stuff I just wanted to deal with myself, I kept. I didn't even put outside. But it did get rid of a lot of stuff because I found there was a lot of stuff there that I probably wouldn't pick to this day, or I wasn't really attached to, or maybe it had to be cleaned. You know, there was things that, you know, by the time I clean this and everything, I might as well just let it go at this price. You know, that kind of thing. But But
And my storage units have been picked of the good stuff, and now it is exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's all the crap that's left over.
It's all the crap. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I just did a yard sale, and you know what? I was kind of happy with the results. I was actually kind of impressed with the results. So it might be something to consider. I don't know what your situation is but
Yeah, I think that next year I'm going to be doing that. I'll be dumpster probably for some of it, but
or just donate it, because then you don't have to pay for the dumpster fees, right? Just take it to a thrift store. But because they'll probably still sell it for $1 or $2, like I don't know, right? I don't know, but it's I know so many people, dude. So many people that are in the same situation, and I would love.
Once I bought a whole store, like the store went out of business.
Yeah,
and I bought all the contents of all their store shelving and furniture and crap. So I thought, oh, this all stuff will incorporate into my store really nicely, but I had nowhere to put it, so I got a storage unit.
Yeah, dude, I
like 3-4 pieces of it, and it's all sitting there, right?
Yeah. I would have done the same thing. I even talked about that just the last pick I went to. Like Steph's like, well, what are you going to do with it? Well, maybe, if it's as good as I think it's going to be, I'll just I'll get a storage unit and I'll just take everything to this, and I'll buy the whole house of contents. And when I got there, and they started, this is the one where they started telling me that they had put a lot of stuff in dumpsters and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, I can just kind of cherry pick it, grab the really good stuff, and take it home. There's not as much here as I was thinking, but it was in my mind to do that, right? And I would have done it. I mean, if the right stuff was there, I was willing to do that, But
I think the danger is trying to squeeze all the value out of stuff too, or sometimes it's better just to.
Yeah, but if I was going to buy the full contents, it would have took too long to go through it. I would have rather just paid for it, grabbed it all, and get it out of there, because they want it out of there too, right? They want to sell the house, so I don't think I would have had time to like cherry pick it if it was that full. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The way it was, it was spread out. They had it organized, but how much of the good stuff went into dumpsters too, right? Like I don't know. It was tempting. It was tempting.
It's hard. Like, and I've seen like people shut down their booths and they want people to come in and buy their booth, but it's all the crap that is being left over after all the good stuff is long gone. And they often want good money for it too, because they want their money back. And it's like, it's all garbage, right? That happen. I think that, like for a lot of booth owners, that kind of happens too, is like they never get rid of the crap. So over time, their sales, like their first sales are like this because all the good stuff, and then boom, and they don't understand why it's crashed, but they're never willing to, do the weeding that you need to do, right? And that's sort of happens with the storage units too, right? Like you said, all the good, and me too with all my stuff, all the good stuff.
I go in and I grab the good stuff,
and then you have bins of the crap, and it's like, well, I know that's worth a couple dollars, right? But really,
it's not worth it.
No.
And the mindset with me with that storage unit is only because I have no more room left here. You know what I mean? It's like, well, why don't you just store it in the garage? Well, because the garage is full. Well, why don't I put it in the shed? Well, the shed's full. Well, why don't I put it in the basement? Well, the basement's full. You know what I mean? And I got to work out of somewhere, and Steph needs her space to be cleared.
How dare her?
I'm trying to renovate the garage into usable space for my business so that I don't have all that, but I keep filling it up again.
And so I would say I'm like one step away from a storage unit. I'm really there. If I got a huge pick, I might have to do that.
Well, you don't want to lose that opportunity too, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, if it's good stuff and if you're getting quantity that's easy to resell, I mean, it would be worth it for sure. Yeah. Like a big pick of your soldiers that would fill a storage unit.
Dude, that was like the best pick of my life. I don't think I'll ever get that again, but that was that was I was so happy with that. The results of that I couldn't believe. I mean, I still got a box here. I got a whole bunch of boxes, but this one's set. I got to list this stuff. This is more toy soldiers. I got 5-6 boxes left. A couple of the boxes are over there are ones with like maybe a gun broke or a huge paint chip or something. So
yeah, I try to get more fussy on that stuff too, like the broken stuff.
yeah,
Because
but
I was always tempted to put that in the booth, and it's like no one really wants it.
well, the
it's gonna
toy
sit
soldiers
there.
are a little different that way because I've had guys say that they don't mind because they'll just repair them, they'll just paint them or
Yeah,
fix them up. So, and if they can get them for $10 rather than $50, then they're happy too, right? So.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're at an hour and a half. Do you want to get to questions? Anything
Yeah.
else, Ken? You want to add or
No, I think we're good.
yeah? Any questions there, Carl?
No, I think we talked about like your operating the booth and like what you like doing and like your online sales. And you're going to move more into online sales again.
So really, it depends. Our lease is up in this fall, and it depends where we go with that. I mean, if the landlord makes it crazy, then I have big decisions to make.
Oh my God.
Right, and then I'll be definitely just moving into online. But if it goes well, we'll probably continue.
Yeah, that's hard when the building is owned by someone else, and
Yeah,
that's a hot retail area, like you said, right? So
yeah,
it's hard for those kind of businesses to survive. Like around Ottawa, you're paying $800 in rent for like a 10 by 10, right? Like I don't know who can afford that, and then everything else is pushed out of Ottawa. But even outside of Ottawa is getting expensive too. So,
and I don't think we could raise our vendors up. I think what they're paying now is fair, and if we get an increase, how much more can I sell to cover? You know,
it doesn't make sense at some point.
it doesn't. Yeah, so we're in a tough spot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it goes good, Ken, for sure.
Yeah, well, I really enjoy it, but I do miss my time too, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I guess a small store, like, you know, it's still big if you got vendors and stuff like that. You're still renting space, but it's all worth it, I guess. Like you spend time there and everything. Like, do you find that it's I guess it's a little.
So in the summer,
question.
I'm three days a week at the store, right?
You're there 3 days.
Yeah, and 3 days at my job. But then that extra day in between always is you still got to look after your own booth and
yeah. So
paperwork
that was kind of where I was going with it. Like you're kind of never leave. It's never done. Like it's
never done,
there, right?
No.
So is it? Do you find it worth it? I guess is kind of where I'm going at.
I'm just doing my books now, and yeah, I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's like it's fun. It's a hobby. If you think of it as fun and a hobby, I've made money. Don't get me wrong, but my time off is important to me, and I really miss it.
Yeah, I think doing your accounting is very eye opening, and a lot of people just never do it. So
yeah,
know, right? Like, you know, when I said, "Oh, last year I grossed $10,000," you know, my friend was impressed, but I said, "Dude, that's break even." Like that's less than minimum wage, you know.
When you count the hours in and and then you've got all the things. This week or one weekend I'm supposed to be off, and of course I get a call from the store and a breaker's blown, so stuff's not lit up, and so I got to run in. I got to go fix that. The furnace broke.
Yes, of course.
Transistor broke all in the same month in December, right? Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're never off the hook.
And then you think it fixed it, but then like a month later or 2 months later, something else happens. So okay, fix that, and then 3 months later, something else happens, right? Like
there's always something, right? Always like something. Right now, I need to go in and replace a bunch of light bulbs, very high ceilings, of course, and
of course.
So there's always, there's always stuff, right?
Yeah, and I that to me was something that, like, when I quit my job, don't get me wrong, I think it was probably one of the best things I did, but at the same time, it maybe, like, looking where we are today and how things have changed, it could have been one of the worst decisions I made. Like, I'll never say that far. I was really happy with what's been going on, but I said this in a couple shows ago, maybe even a couple months ago. But there was one time in the summer that I just went outside. I let the dogs out. The little one needs you to go out with her, or she won't. She'll just keep scratching at the door. So, anyways, so I'm standing outside, bare feet in the grass. Maybe it was like October. It was a warm day though. Anyway, I'm just looking. I'm just thinking. Like, I remember, even though it was shift work and everything else at Toyota, when I was when I was off, if I had a week holidays or if I had a weekend even, that was my time. I was off. And I'm like, I haven't felt that way since I quit. Like, I always feel like I should be listing. I
You
should
got
be
to be hustling because
prepping, right?
your paycheck is up to you, so you're always
Yeah.
hustling.
So you always feel like you're never settled, even if Steph wants to go for supper or something like I'm just like, well, I was kind of in the mood to list right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's and I was just out there in my bare feet in the grass looking around, and I'm like, if this was my day off, I'd just be sitting in the sun having a beer, maybe doing a bar. Like, it would have been a whole different lifestyle. And I did, and I kind of like thought, well, maybe I missed that. You know what I mean? I know there was a lot of things that had developed over the last few months or half a year now or whatever, but that had changed the mindset a lot. But it was one
Oh
of
yeah,
those, it was, I don't know if you call it epiphany or life moments where you just kind of reflect and it's like, maybe the other side wasn't so bad. I don't know. Like, they also say if you enjoy your work, it's like you're not working a day in your life.
and that's true.
Right.
That's
So,
how I
like,
feel now compared to the
yeah,
past.
like, I mean, if I need to go somewhere or Steph wants to go somewhere, like, I can just do it where, and Toyota's all shift work and it's a whole bunch of other problems, but, or issue thoughts. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, there's that aspect too, right? Like, you're never done. Like, you always feel like you should be doing something more. Even though sometimes it's hard mentally, you need a break to sit outside just to think how you're going to process. So your mind's still in the game, even though you physically might not be doing something. You're still thinking about it. It's still there. But when I left Toyota, I can guarantee you I was not thinking about the next car to build. You know what I mean? That was not going through my mind at all. But anyway.
I might retire, so maybe my idea on longevity will change on the store too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting. Life's a journey. You just take it as it goes, and then
yeah,
that's it. That's all you can do. I wasn't an NHL hockey player, so now I'm stuck here making tens of millions a year. That would have been nice. But anyway, all right. So what do you guys want to do now? Get into comments or what?
Yeah, let's get into comments. I can start off if you want on Spotify.
First of all, just Ken, did you want to plug anything? Do you have like a website, or do you want to plug anything at all, or not?
well,
Really?
Muskoka Vintage Finds is my handle, my store name for my booth. That's Huntsville, Ontario. If you're traveling or holidaying, stop in, say hello.
Okay.
Awesome.
Because we got Fish Fanatic. He's up that way. Do you know Fish Fanatic at all?
I don't. I haven't met him, but yeah, I mean, of course, I've seen him on all the podcasts, and we've kind of chatted.
Yeah.
Not podcast, but the old YouTube on the group chat. But no, I don't know him.
Okay.
I don't know where he is, where he lives.
I think he's. I don't know. I don't know. He's up that way. I think he might be more south of that. Like, I think he's more Barrie area. Put it that way. Like,
okay, so I'm north of him.
You're north of him, right?
If that's where he is, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know exactly if he's like an hour north, maybe, or half an hour outside of it. I don't know exactly where he is, but I think he's in that area.
So I do understand your hour commute to your booth that you're going through now, because that's what I did when I was in Barrie. It was an hour, a little over an hour.
Okay. Really?
And that was very tough to handle. So I heard you talking a lot last podcast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and honestly, the drive there is not the problem. It's the drive back. It seems to be the grind. Like you get there, you're all excited, and it's like, oh my god, I got to go another hour to get home. Like, so it's 2 hours. Like it's an hour there,
Yes.
which okay, that's not too bad, but it's an hour back. And Carl's got the same thing every weekend too.
Yeah.
That's why I say for my booth, that's 10 hours. It's not 8. It's really 10, right?
Yeah.
I just listen to a lot of podcasts, but sometimes you just want to be home, right?
Like today, I sent Steph with 3 boxes full of stuff because she had to work today. So, I mean, it's nice of her to help out, but I don't know how much that's going to happen. Like she's got to work an hour, half an hour setting things up before she works. But she's pretty good at that. But 2 booths keep it like they're large booths, so to keep them full and set up properly, it's not the 10-minute drive it used to be. You know what I mean?
No.
So it's, I don't know. It's in thought, it didn't sound so bad. You know what I mean? But in reality, it really breaks up the week, the day. Like it's a little
takes
more
your motivation away because
challenging.
when you get back, you don't feel like doing something else.
Yeah. It feels like you worked for the day, and really you didn't do nothing but drive and drink coffee and set things up for a little bit and talk and chat, and you know what I mean. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's a little bit more. It's not what I thought it would be. It's a little bit more. So, anywho, all right.
Carl got another.
What's that?
You got another Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify. Yeah, we're on Spotify. Do you want to go first, Carl?
Yeah, sure. So Adam Wakefield. Hey guys, just checking in to let you know I'm still listening every week and enjoy the shows. Just haven't had much to post on here lately for you guys. Keep the entertaining shows. Oh, thanks, Adam. Yeah. I always wonder what we're going to talk about every Sunday, but somehow we babble on. It's all good.
It just happens. But good to see Adam here for sure. And good to check in for sure.
Yep.
Make sure everything's good. So, and we also have Tina Mack. Good luck with Facebook Marketplace. I never see the people that buy from me, so it's great. I only sell stuff that fits in my bin. Oh yeah, she's got that porch pickup thing going on.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Yeah.
In the summer, I sell bigger stuff and leave it on my porch. If I had to see people, I'd never do it. People are awful. Wow.
You always remember the bad experiences.
Yeah, right. I'll be honest with you. The guy that bought the sign, a porcelain post office sign, he walked in the door with the money, like basically in his hand.
Yeah.
He grabbed it, and I tried to small talk to him. I'm like, like if I grab more of these type of signs, we can give you a call or something if you're interested. Like, I'm trying to pick his brain to, and he goes, oh, it looks good, and then he's like leaves, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
And then I have another guy I met, but I was able to do 2 things because he was near where I used to live. I didn't know him, but and this is positive with Facebook Marketplace, but I could meet him in Simcoe and then carry on another 10 minutes to Waterford and put stuff in the booth. I sold him a sign for $185, and he was really happy with it. He showed me his garage, which is all petrol stuff, and it could be a returning customer. You know what I mean? So he gave me his number where we can, he said, call him, send him photos anytime. And he had a huge barn full of like old gas pumps with the glass globes and signs all over. And I'm like, all right, this guy's got the cash.
How
big
old is
Ford
he?
pickup truck, like cranked right up off the tires.
Oh, man.
Anyway, Carl, you would have loved this one. I said, he called me, he goes, I'm going to be there a little early. Are you coming? I said, yeah. I said, I'm the guy in the Chevy Trail Boss pickup truck. He goes, I have a big Ford 50. It's raised high and all that. I know he's going on it. And I'm like, okay, this guy will be okay. But anyway, Carl, you would have preferred I have an electric car. And
Yeah, your Tesla, yeah, and all that stuff. Yeah, I hear it all, man. At the market, I hear it all. So, but yeah, like my last Facebook marketplace was the first example, except the other way. The one was all business. I was buying a metal coat rack, which was awesome coat rack, by the way, clothing rack, I should say. And she was just like, money, item, bye. It's like, okay, that's fine. You always get you have to get the feeling of someone quick, right? When you're in those situations, is this person the person who wants to talk, or just pure business? And that's what that was. So I didn't take it personally. It was just funny. I was out of there in 2 seconds. So,
and I put a bunch of train stuff up there. I have a guy coming at 1:30 today, and he wants to buy 7 of them. So those are for 3 days of listing, 5 items each day. Pretty decent experiences, right?
Yeah.
The only one that I can talk about that really wasn't good was, and it wasn't horrible either, but I had a bunch of like train stuff up there, like toy trains. And he goes, well, I'd be interested in everything you have, because I told him I have Fleshman and stuff, and he goes, I'd like to see pictures of that. So I'm like, okay. So I lined them all up on the table. Boom. Took one picture of all of them just to kind of let him know. He wanted the prices on the Merkel, which I had 2 of. And I'm like, okay, they're locomotives, so I better go check them out. One's about 200, one's about 300, 275, I told him. And then he wasn't interested in anything but the one I had for 500. He wanted to pay 200. And I'm like, buddy, I said, I think I had 625 on it or something. I said, I can sell it on eBay for $500, right? I said, I'm not going to take less than 500. He goes, okay. He goes, well, that's what I do too. I sell on eBay. So I'm like,
right. There's no room for him, right?
Right. And so I took a whole bunch of photos and did all this work, and and the guy that's coming today, I'm not going to do that. So I just said, he's starting to ask me questions. I said, listen, I bought him out of the state. I got tons of train stuff. You want to come and take a look and figure it out, that's up to you. You're more than welcome. And, in my mind, I'm like, otherwise I'm not doing all this shit. So he goes, well, I'd be interested in in 7 of them, which are very similar. But anyway, so I think that's how you have to treat those guys. You know what I mean? You can't get wrapped up. I think the more work you do, the less likely they are to buy. They're just fishing. But if they're really serious, they're going to say, I want that. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do all those listings and photos or extra photos and all that extra stuff anymore. But anyway.
I like what Ken was saying with Facebook Marketplace, like how some of the vendors use that. I've heard of people doing that too. Like, I have this in my booth. If you're interested, come and see it, right? But I've been too lazy to do that. And, I should try it, though. There's no cost, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try it, I think, now that I have some time right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to say my perspective. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's a different situation if you own the store, Ken, because it's kind of like an extension of your home, really. But if I post it on Facebook, tell them it's at the store, I'm not at the store, they go to the store and it's sold before they got there.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Right? Because I'm not going to be able to call and say, hey, there's a person coming to buy this. Can you take it off my shelf? Well, they're not going to do that. They're not going to know what it is. They're not going to know where it is in my booth, and they're not going to waste time when they got clients and cash and everything else to deal with. Like, I'm talking about the workers of the antique store. Like, the owner is not going to want that.
No.
Second of all, personally, because I have so much stuff, to advertise the stuff at the store, well, I've already done the work at the store. Boom, it's there.
I'm going to do it for home. Yeah.
Right. So anything I got here, I give Stephanie 10%. She can do the photos and the listing and look after it. If there's any questions, obviously she's going to come through me. But it's kind of an extension. It's kind of like another eBay avenue. I still deal with 10% coming off, but I got somebody else looking after it. That's kind of how it works for me. But everybody can be different. But I would hate to sound, oh yeah, it's in the booth in Waterford. They're going to drive half an hour from Tilsonburg or something to go get it, and it's gone. They're going to be pissed. Like that's why I wouldn't do it that way.
My vendors are just doing pictures of their booth with the shelf with all the stuff in, and then
saying, "Hey, come visit my store."
That's right.
And they even put what day they're working, right, to come in and see them. Okay. Yeah, but for me, no, that doesn't work. I just sell my stuff from home.
Because there is things that isn't selling. Like I have one thing for $700, another thing for $250. The $700 might be $100 overpriced. I mean, it's eBay price, but you know what I'm saying. eBay sometimes can get a little bit inflated. But the other item is $250. I can't really remember, but it goes for $450 online. So I'm gonna bring them home, put them on Facebook Marketplace. They don't sell in a couple weeks. I'll put them on eBay, but I think if I was going to put anything from the store online, I think I would bring it, or on Facebook, I think I would bring it home, put it on Facebook, and have access to it right then and there. I don't know.
No, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, everyone has a different style. I don't want anyone coming to my house, right? So, and if I was gonna do this stuff, I'd probably take a general picture, like, hey, if you're interested in Smurfs, I have a whole bunch of Smurfs every Sunday, blah blah blah, and put up like a thing like that.
Yeah.
Rather than, necessarily one single item that might be hot.
But you're going to get a lot of calls, dude, and I want to hear this going through. Yeah, well, do you have this Smurf? Well,
ignore.
Do you have that Smurf?
Ignore. I'm the worst. I barely answer eBay questions, let alone Facebook message. I feel bad. I'll go on Facebook. Picture. Sorry, Ken?
I like your idea of the pictures of the furniture. I'm going to take pictures of some of my electronics, and instead of putting it at the store, I'm just going to put some pictures up.
Yeah, because if they're serious, you'll know it.
That was
yeah.
Well, that was one of the questions I was going to ask earlier, and I don't know why we always get into conversations here, and it just
it goes off the rail.
It goes off the rail. So, but one of the questions I was going to ask, like, do you guys do any marketing?
No,
no, just your location is your marketing.
So we just did. We've had lots of people trying to sell us different ideas, but if somebody's coming to visit a campground or a motel, to me, they're going to look on their phone and they're going to find us. And a piece of paper really doesn't hit our market, like a placemat or I just don't think it. I don't think it's worth the money.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Do you have like do you go on Facebook or anything like that? Do you social media?
Yeah, we have an Instagram, or we have a Facebook. Myself, from my booth, I have Facebook and Marketplace. Okay. And for the store, we have a Facebook page. We don't have very many followers, like 38.
Yeah.
At our market, they're really pushing Facebook Marketplace, and it's getting more and more people in. I truly think that, but also younger people. Not just
we have one vendor that's doing that, and she's brought in a lot.
Yeah.
But she knows how to do it, right?
Yeah, and we have people dedicated to do that. That's what they do. That. It has made a difference because a lot of people even heard of our market, let alone go. There's still a huge gap, but people just have no idea. So
we get that every day. People come in, they'll say, "We've lived here all this time. We never knew all this was here."
Just don't know, yeah. Or like, the previous owners of the market had no interest in any advertising except for small dinky newspapers that no one under 70s actually ever looks at, except to use as a fireplace kindling. You know what I mean? Like,
so the other problem I don't want to do marketing for is we have a hard enough time handling the volume that we have for those 5 months a year.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a good problem.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Like in the summer, we're lined up. Like,
I'm jealous.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. We try to do double coverage, and really, for security reasons, it's terrible because you can't have eyes everywhere.
Yeah,
when you have that many people coming through.
Do you have a problem with theft?
Yeah, this last year was not good. So we do have cameras now and stuff, but they don't do anything.
Yeah, they don't.
No, but it's more of a local problem. The theft more than our tourism.
Okay.
Yeah, there were, from what I understand, if there's theft, it's the guy, and once the guy's known, he's
Well, that exactly. So right now we're in a
guy.
good place. It seems like all our guys are. They might still be on the street, but they're not coming in anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
Right. But we have a bad drug addiction problem. I think it's all over Ontario. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the crowd that we have problems with usually.
When I had a small little booth downtown Ottawa, and theft was a problem there. And I had most of my stuff even locked up, but things just disappeared. And it's like, yeah, because of the people around there, you could walk there, and there were a high variety of people.
Yeah, and we have the methadone or whatever they call it now. Clinic is next door, pretty much too. So
Yeah.
the drugstore next door.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's crazy how that, how that's taken off. We don't really have it too bad in Waterford. I mean, it's a small town, so you kind of know that group. But as the towns get a little bit more bigger, like even 10 minutes away to Simcoe, like and St. Thomas here is even bigger. I mean, you see more of that kind of stuff, right? Like it's, I don't know. But there was a few that were coming in, and I think we've nipped it in the butt to the point where they're not welcome back. And personally, I can't speak for everybody, but I've seen less tags on the floor. I used to see stuff moved around and disrupted in my booth all the time. Even that has calmed down a lot. You know what I mean? Compared to what it was at one point. So, and I think that's our owners really. It happened for a while, but once they figured out who they
we have
was
pictures behind the till. We keep pictures of the perps, and
once they figured out who it was, they were able to stop it. But it took a little bit it took a little bit, and it's not easy. You know what I mean?
It's not easy.
You want to be sure, you know.
Well, yeah, for sure.
We have one guy, as soon as he comes in the door, I go to him and I say, "You're not welcome here," and I walk him out.
Yeah, and that's what had to happen. But you want to kind of make sure too, right? Like you just, I don't know. It's
apparently he pulled a knife on somebody, so I guess I've been lucky because he's in jail now.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, yeah. So that's it. It can be a pain, for sure. You get a group like that happening. So,
well, thank you, Tina. Yes, people are on time.
Tina and Adam. Well, yeah. So now we're over to
YouTube.
Your turn.
Thrift on Fire, Jamie. Thanks, guys. It's been fun digging around in the first few bins from the buy. P.S. The jackets made the deal for me. Yeah, so Jamie did a big buy. I think a lot of money put down, but it's really paid off. I haven't watched the latest video with his jackets though, but I'm glad there's some hot ones in there. Did you watch that video?
Yeah. So the jackets are doing well, and I would advise everyone to go look at it because there's a jacket in there with there's Donald Duck. What's the female version? Daffy Duck?
Oh, that sounds right.
Daffy Duck.
Pretty
sure.
Okay, so there's her on the front. Now he sold a youth jacket. Now this is NASCAR, and it was a Disney one, and Daphne Duck, she was on the front. So he didn't know what to put it at, but and you go watch his video and you'll see exactly what it is. But there was an adult like sized version, and he said it sold for, I think he said 450. So he kind of guessed at it, and he got 250, and it sold within like 15 minutes of listing it.
Oh,
So obviously it's one of those I
Yeah.
should have put more on it thing.
yeah.
But hey, they're out there, right? Like he found one. So if you're out yard sailing or you come across this thing, it's something maybe to pay attention to. But if you go to his video on the jackets, you'll see that. But there was also some cars. They looked like a resin to me, like a resin type of car, but one was Tweety and one was Donald Duck, and the Tweety one was like 450 or something crazy, and it's just a little car made of resin, but it seems to be quite a collectible. I think some Disney things, I think if you have to buy them at the park, maybe they have a little bit more, or a limited edition. They have some, I've seen plush go for some crazy money online, like people talking about it. So maybe that was this situation, but he has some interesting things in there that maybe you would walk by if somebody was asking $10 for that car.
Right.
Because I'm thinking it's 15 out of the booth, right? Then all of a
I
sudden,
did amazing with Disney shirts last summer.
really, eh?
The vintage Disney shirts. I did this pick where I kept going back to the same yard sale every week or every couple of weeks when I could.
Yeah.
And he kept seeing what I was buying. He says, I have more, but I'm not going to be putting it out here because I'll need more money for it. So I ended up buying it all, bins and bins of Disney sweatshirts as well as Disney tees. And I've actually pulled them for the winter. I'm going to put them back out next summer, but I've sold some up to $94 in the booth.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Disney, because he was saying his pins go for crazy money, like not for big money, but they sell very consistently and a lot out of his booth. It just puts the pins like I think $5 a piece. But if you have a little tray of 100 pins, like he's selling a bunch of them every week, and he just keeps loading them up. So
Nice.
I went and checked out his new booth in Tilsonburg, and he's got a board with a bunch of pins on it and different things too. So so Disney, I don't know, Disney might be, I don't know, like there's something there. You're doing well with it. Like maybe I got to look for more Disney stuff. Sometimes I think that stuff is like just overproduced, right? But if there's a big following, I guess.
Yeah, well, I looked them up because I had no idea they were. When I bought them, the first bunch, I didn't really know they had any value. I just thought they were cool looking tees. But when I started Google Lensing them, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
wow, I don't know if I'll get that kind of money. But I put, an in-between price.
Yeah.
And they were selling like crazy.
Huh.
We get a lot of camp kids, so we have a lot of local summer camps, and the staff shop. They get bussed into town, and they come and they buy up this stuff.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So pre-season.
Yeah. So I'll be looking for some Disney stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
You gonna trade your Smurfs in for Disney characters, Carl?
I find Disney's either hot or like completely dead.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like
Yeah.
I'll get all these Disney toys. Actually, I got a box of them just over here somewhere. These little ones, and I'm pretty sure they're worthless, but you never know until you look it up, right? So I know Disney pins can be hot because there's a lot of collectors for Disney pins.
And they're usually not that expensive, right? You could collect a lot of things. They don't take up a lot of room, but they're not like you're not paying like $200 per item, like you're right. So
I think it's like anything, like with the pins, you get a bunch, and then one might be worth $30, and the rest are all worth $5.
yeah,
Right? But I haven't delved too much into it because I honestly don't see it out there too often.
yeah. All right, Randy, Nova Scotia Celt 5218. Location in a flea market is very important. New Glasgow had a huge building, old home hardware store, and my first table was to the left, 3/4 on a row, halfway between the front of the building and the back. That's what we were talking about last week, Carl. Like location to the entrance.
This is hilarious because I just read this week that people have a tendency to always go right when they have a choice between left and right.
Yeah,
I
most
do.
people will go right, and I was thinking, yeah, I do too. And I'm on the right, and then there's another fork, and I'm on the right, and I'll sometimes go around the market, and some places are dead. People just are just don't go that direction for whatever reason. Our brains are wired to go a certain direction. I don't get it. So it's totally true. Yeah.
Most shoppers never seen my table. When I came back, I had a table to the right, only 3 rows from the front, near the entrance. First weekend, sales were more than total sales at the wow.
At the old
So,
table. Yeah.
so you are talking about the right and left, like you were saying there, Carl.
It's
Shoppers
also
lose
near the front. Yeah.
entrance quickly. Also, they never look below the knee or above the head.
Yeah.
You spot a picker, they look everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember the story where the toy guy I was talking about earlier, he had his area and he had a bunch of planes tied to the ceiling hanging,
Yeah.
right? Toy planes. And the guy came in and asked if he had any planes for sale.
I know.
Looked up, right?
Yeah.
But and
It's true. Eye level stuff first goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I spent Sunday actually the last couple Sundays redoing the front of my booth to make it all eye level. And this last weekend, I got like 3 or 4 independent people come up and say, "Hey, it looks a lot better," because I just made it more at that eye level without like blocking stuff. And it's sad, but it's true. I put the crap on the bottom. I might try lights and something, maybe something flashing to get people's attention a little higher at some point. Because yeah, I do the same thing though. Like they've always talked about with grocery stores.
Yeah.
Like you have that one aisle where everyone looks, and if you want to see the really weird products at a grocery store, look at the top shelf. You get all the strange stuff, or the bottom, right? It's just the way or they'll put like things like flour or sugar and stuff like that at the bottom, because you'll look for that because it's a commodity item. So it is very true.
So I got a question for you about your store and your location. So do you sell much DVDs or VHS out of there?
Yeah, we do. I don't. I try to stay away from VHS unless they're horror movies, like you do. But we have one vendor at the back of our store does a lot of VHS. Actually, not big dollar items, but
Yeah.
he does so many items in volume. It's pretty crazy. It's good. But I do DVDs because I bought a lot of 5,000 of them at a sale, and I hate them. They take up all the space and they don't move fast enough.
Exactly.
I'd like to get a lot of, not the glass cells either, but I have a lot of glass in storage I'd like to get up on shelves. So I'm debating what to do with DVDs.
So I'll tell you how I deal with DVDs, but I usually just deal with horror. I put them in a tote. I just shove them in there. They're not neat at all. And I just put DVDs and then a price like $4, or I do horror movies, so mine are $4, but it's all horror. Because the guys for the DVD would dig. But the reason I ask is because I've done a couple yard sales. There was times when I did the storage units, and how I got rid of a lot of stuff was through a yard sale. Kind of cherry pick the good stuff, but there's clothing and all sorts of stuff. This is before eBay and all that stuff. It was just a booth. But there was a guy who came and he bought a bunch of DVDs, and he said, these will be great for the cabin, the cottage. Because not everybody has internet and stuff. I guess back then they probably didn't, because this is going back probably just pre-COVID. But that was kind of their primary thing. The people would have a VCR or a DVD player or a combo, but that's what they would do for entertainment, is they would only be able to watch DVDs. So I'm like, well, you're in prime time area and seasonal for that. I thought maybe you'd be able to unload a ton of DVDs.
So in the summer, somebody will come in and they'll buy like 10 DVDs, like one person.
Yeah.
And in summer, they do move. Every vendor has them.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but for me, I just don't think there's enough money in them really. But I'm planning on kind of moving them I have a little section at the very back of my store. Right now, they're in a prime location in the basement section, and I want to move them to the back. And I have a little alcove where I had clothing in it. And I think I'm going to put all my DVDs on shelves back there so that I have more better space but I'm not going to get rid of them, I don't think.
Yeah, and I only deal with horror because it's just kind of a genre that I find like is pretty steady. But the reason that
higher prices in horror.
What's that? Sorry.
I put higher prices on horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason I thought about it is because you guys were talking about, space and where it sells and eye level and all this. But the thing I like about the DVDs is they just sit under like a table, and they're just in a tote. And I just dump, I'll grab a bunch of DVDs here, price them, and I'll just drop them in that bucket. But they're in a location that I'm not going to get. I'm not going to sell much other stuff normally there, right? It's in that on the floor under a table.
That might be a good idea, actually, for me.
But they sell just as good there as they would if I put them in a great spot. You know what I mean? Because people will just come in there, and I get returning people coming, which may or may not be your case because it's seasonal. But I think
I do. I have one gentleman comes in every couple of weeks and says, "Have you any new DVs come in?" And whenever I put new ones in, I tell them and I put them in a certain spot that he knows they're there. Yeah.
And you're right though. You don't get a lot of money for them, but I just
Don't pay the rent.
I just dump them. So if you get a tote and you can fit 100 DVDs in there, that's $400 item really just sitting in that spot, and so it works for me. But I don't know.
I like that idea. I like that idea because then I can use the prime space for something else. I'll even put them in a bin under a table, and they can pull it out and search through it.
Yep. I just put a big sign on that bin saying what it is in there, like DVDs, here's the price. And I put horror DVDs. But I have people come and they'll just sit on the floor and they'll dig, and they'll just that one I like, and they'll just sit there and dig through the whole. Well, I got 3 totes now of that stuff. So,
yeah.
And the reason I like it too, because sure, you might only get $4, but you might pay 25 cents. You know what I mean? Or a dime for because you can buy big lots of that stuff usually for,
Well, yeah, I bought 5,000 for like $300.
Yeah. Right. So you can't beat that. So, but just being your location and hearing how people had bought many before for their cottage and stuff, I mean, that would be primal real estate, compared where you are. Right. So,
No, they do move. They do.
I had a guy come in to buy some this weekend, and they're on the bottom of my shelves. And I said, "Well, if your knees are still good, I have another box of them over there." Because, they're pretty low. But I find it just like you're saying. For me, it doesn't sell enough. And they're not horror; they're just normal ones, right? They sell, but I'm never going to buy them anymore because they're just.
No, I stopped buying them.
Yeah, it's not really worth it, And I have a bin, which is in a bad location, but I know I won't bother. It's just not worth the time, right? I'll sell maybe $5 of them every Sunday, maybe. It's just I should put my energy elsewhere is kind of what I'm saying too. But I was talking to my buddy and I said I don't even know if our CDs are worth selling, because he'll pick up a CD for $2. I sell them for $4, and then I take my commission off of that. It's there ain't much left. You know what I mean? You have to kind of look at it that way too. What else could I have in that spot too?
I do really well with CDs, classic rock titles and odd stuff that I never even heard of. But if it's an odd, or it's got a cover or a parental warning on it, I buy it. And I get sometimes even $20-$30 for some CDs.
Yeah, those I'll put online. I won't put those in the booth. It's too confusing for me, right? I'm not going to spend the time to price each individual one unless I got lots of other stuff to price first, right? But yeah.
One thing I did invest in that I was really happy I invested in, for video games and DVDs, is a disc cleaner. I don't know if you guys have invested in one of these, but this thing does miracles. The JFJ. I just don't want to.
I'm gonna write that down. I've never heard of it.
For video games, I could see, because video games are worth it, to spend that time for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll test them if they're. I don't know if you can see it or not, but if I pull it this way,
it's there now. Yep.
But it does Blu-ray. It says right on there that it does Blu-ray and different things, but I think I paid $700 for it on Amazon, and I'm so happy I bought that. But
I said I stopped buying DVDs, but I did just buy some Blu-rays.
Yeah, yeah. And some DVDs can have crazy money. Like,
Mhm.
you know, like I don't know. I bought one. It was Animal Planet, but it was on horror. Like, not horror. It was horror, but it was like hauntings and people's experiences. I forget what it was called. And it
I
looked
wish
like
I could get concerts.
what concerts can do to well.
I wish I could get more concerts.
Yeah,
That's
but it's I got $100 for the DVD. Like it was an Animal Planet. Like it was like
whoa.
yeah, and I'm like, are you serious? So I check all my DVDs. Like I check them out big time.
That's the nice thing about the UPC codes, right? Like when I have a bunch of CDs I'll get for free pretty well, and I'll just scan them on eBay solds, right? Like I said, anything that shows up, I'll double check. Anything that doesn't show up, Value Village can have it. I'm not gonna even bother unless it's something like obviously very different, right? But yeah, it's the same with DVDs. Ding, ding, ding. It's kind of nice.
I did just pick a whole bunch of punk LPs, and I don't know the genres.
Nice.
I don't know what I have, but I think
Yeah.
they'll sell pretty good.
Punk is
Yeah.
probably the top, one of the top, I would think.
I think
yeah.
you have to be
Dollar
careful.
wise, I think they're going to be really good.
I think you have to be careful with punk and make sure you go through them because I think some of them can have ridiculous money
Mm-hmm.
if it's the good stuff for sure. Like I don't know. I worked with a guy who was into the punk stuff, and he was telling me about 45s to just regular records, and he was really into it. So he said some of it can be worth some money. So
I hope so. I spent $700 on quite a few, so
yeah,
quite a lot.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you one or two might make your pay for everything.
Yeah, I hope so.
You never know.
Sometimes you pay for your education too, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we're getting to an end here. I got one last question for me. I don't know what Carl has left, but one thing I just bought recently that I haven't really dealt with too much is fishing lures and equipment and stuff. Like being where you are, like is there a demand for fishing lures and all that, like vintage stuff, or
Yeah, I sell. I don't sell a lot of them because I don't find a lot, but I put them in a lock cabinet, and they do sell. Yeah,
because I found when I got this, like all the CNR, CPR, railroad, and all that kind of stuff. There's a couple fishing tackle boxes that I grabbed, and there was some wooden lures, some older ones. Like they're not worth big money, maybe $20-$30 for a couple of them, 15 or something for. But I probably dropped 20% based on eBay things when I threw them on my booth. I'm going to see how they do. And then there was tons of like, I don't know if they've changed much. I don't think they have, but I remember when I was a kid, you would get those little MEP spinners and stuff for trout and stuff like that. Tons of that stuff. And I just threw them on some trays, put $40 on them, $50 on another one, and then sold the ones I thought were worth money, like the wooden ones, for individual prices. But I just started doing that. So I just wondered, being out where you are, there's probably fishing is a huge thing out there. So.
it is. I've sold lots of the reproduction signs that have fishing on them. They're pretty hot, so I always keep a stock of those. And I have lots of lures that I've been buying, but I haven't really put a ton in the store. What I have put in the store, I've always sold.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Because it makes sense, right?
It does. Yeah. That's another thing in the cold storage unit. There's probably a bunch of lures. You need to go to the store.
It's interesting to be in a different area, because you're totally in a different area than Carl. Carl's different from me. Like we're all three different areas. It's just interesting to see how people would sell. For the most part, I think we're all kind of in the same camp, but we might have little tweaks here and there. What we can sell a little better than others, I guess. But
yeah,
or not as well as others. How you look at it, but I'll report back on the show how the lures are doing, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I just put them in the booth, so I wasn't even sure how to do it. Instead of selling them individually, I grouped them up. So
see, I never do that. I always seem to sell everything individually, and I got to learn to package some stuff up and group it so I can get some more stuff out of here.
Well, see, I just didn't know. Like that's kind of where I was going. Is maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I'm making more money if I do individually. I just don't know. But I don't think we have the same market that you would for fish,
No,
right? Like you're kind of the hub, and you're going to have the draw from Toronto, which is coming up fishing.
we don't
Really,
know what's going to sell.
all in
We
Ontario.
never know what's going to sell.
Yeah.
Never know what's going to sell.
Yeah.
No.
But do you have a bunch of different ethnic groups come in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do the Asian people buy a lot of different things? I
Yes,
find they're very into this kind of stuff.
they are. Yeah, they buy. So I don't. I have some teacups, but I don't buy teacups. They were inherited, and I've got them out. But we sell a lot of teacups to Chinese people.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I had a couple of
was
people
really
I got to know
surprised
really
when
well who do that. Like they would just go all and I asked them and they said they were shipping it back to China.
Oh.
Yeah.
China, yeah. So
And we get a lot of international travelers, and they like I said, they do buy, but teacups is one of the items that they go for.
Teacups.
So we might not sell teacups for 3 months,
Yeah.
and then we'll sell 25 teacups.
Yeah,
To
that's what I
one
did.
person. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
But I find just they come in from the city and they kind of like that older. I don't know, like even like which you would think was completely random, but like old Edison record players and like really just radio, like old stuff. So I just wondered if you would probably get a huge draw compared to us because they're going to be going up that way, fishing and different things too. But
Yeah. We have the right market, that's for sure, for that kind of stuff. Oddities seem to really do well. Anything that's not mainstream.
Yeah. All right. Any questions? I think I'm questioned out. Ken's probably talked out. He's like, "Holy cow, how long are you guys going to talk?"
I've listened to your show, so I know how long. Sometimes it takes me 3 days to listen to one. So
Me too. Me too.
Carl, anything?
No, I think that's good. Like I'm so happy you came on and gave us your experiences and stuff like that. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was fun. It was fun. Thanks for having me.
We'll have to have you on again, especially like maybe in the summer. Let's see how things are going in the summer and different things and go from there. But anytime you want to come on, just shoot me a message or Carl and do it again for sure. And I guess we always kind of end the show with what anything in the future, any big picks, either one of you guys, any big picks, anything big in the future you're looking forward to, or anything coming up?
No, I bought myself a laminator, so I'm making signs. That's pretty exciting.
Oh, okay.
So we are open 7 days a week in the summer and 5 days a week right now. So I'm looking forward to getting in on Saturday night after the stores closed, Sunday and Monday, tearing booth apart, redoing it before summer. Our big goal is always before summer. In the summer, we have no time.
No.
Yeah.
So
I think it's great. You have lineups.
Yeah, we have to do all our revamping before May, and yeah.
So that's actually interesting too. You have to prepare, which always seems to come upon you quicker than you expect.
Yeah.
Last year I priced because of the camp kids, the staffs and stuff. I would buy lots of hoodies all winter, and then I price them and put them in bins so that I have stuff I can put out fast. Right. And I need to do that with more stuff because it's too hard to keep up in the summer. Now, I might not be working as much this summer with my regular job, so it might be easier. But when you're working a job and trying to do this at the same time, I can't keep my booth stocked a lot of times.
Oh, wow. That's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. But it's only for really 2 months that's the issue, July and August.
Right.
Do the kids come in or do the parents come in and do the buying?
The camp kids aren't, they're here working.
Oh, okay.
So have parents, right? Or they have parents, but they're not here.
Right.
Some of them aren't from even Canada. We have Australian kids that run work in camps all over the place, and they're the best. They buy lots of good stuff.
They buy lots of stuff, eh?
Yeah, and we get a lot of German tourists, and they buy a lot of stuff.
Really?
Yeah. So they must.
Why would it be? Why would there be German tourists? Like, what would like?
That's a good question. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of the same things that they would have at home, like wilderness, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I just wonder what the draw would be for that.
So Algonquin Park is a huge draw, and we're 35, 40 minutes from the gate, right?
From the south.
That's a huge draw.
I'm kind of being funny, but it amazes me how big Algonquin Park is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
so we're close to two of the entrances to Algonquin Park. There's one in Kearney and one at just north of Dwight or east of Dwight, which is another town. But so we're close to two of the main places, and then we have Arrowhead Park as well, another provincial park just down the road.
Yeah. Any okay, I'm just gonna keep real. Any group of 7 paintings you ever come across?
We have on the back of our store, there's actually murals, group of 7 murals, painted on the outside walls.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and a lot of people come and take, and I didn't even know they were there. They used to be all grown up around them, kind of. Yeah. And they've cleaned it out, and we have people in the back parking lot when you're going to the store taking pictures of these. I didn't even realize they were there.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
but that sounds good. And I have a set that I haven't taken to the store yet of prints, group of 7 prints that I forgot about until you just mentioned it.
Yeah, because they're kind of big in that Algonquin Park area, right?
Yeah,
where they did a lot of paintings and stuff. So,
yeah,
very cool. All right. Well, thanks, Ken, so much for coming on, and Carl, as always,
as always, yes.
As always. All right. So I don't know. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks so much for coming on, Ken. Yeah. And I guess we'll just see everybody next week.
Thanks again.
Bye, everyone.